Welcome everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Great.
Welcome back to ESA Winner 2026, live from Malmo, Sweden, supporting Make-A-Wish Foundation. My name's Lionheart, and hopefully we'll be doing a good run of Pokemon Crystal, any percent Glitchless, and Manipless. Before I go into exactly what that category actually means, I'd like to offer the wonderful man beside me a chance to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Saratar. You've seen far too much of me this event. My claim to fame is that I am the best Generation 3 battler at ESA, officially decided in the Ore tournament. I know a thing or two about Pokemon, many people have said.
I think I know more.
We can fight about it later.
I've heard great things, so no pressure.
But yeah, I'm just here to spitball insane Pokemon knowledge and chat some mons, man. Like,
Yeah,
Here-
hopefully
yeah.
we have some
Video
fun.
games.
It's bright and early for us, 7:40 in the morning, so
Ugh, don't remind
we'll
me.
wake up and get going.
run for a good one.
All right, this one's pretty long. We'll have plenty of time to explain. It's going to be quite quick fire in the early game as I yap, and then hopefully it will mellow out a bit in the mid game. Are we ready?
Ready when
Alright.
you are.
Good.
Before I give you a quick countdown, fair warning, I'll need the nickname for my character in about 30 seconds.
Is that I've got name the main and name the trainer. We haven't got the so name the trainer. And this one is been redeemed by Taco and the namer is Taco.
Taco, wonderful.
TACO? Or-
TACO.
Okay,
Is that capital T or
Capital T.
All right, wonderful.
let's get started.
All right, are we ready? In 5,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2, 1. Let's get it going.
All right, first things first, going to choose the girl character. Pokemon Crystal was the first Pokemon game to introduce genders for playable characters. Woohoo! We love inclusion. I've also set the clock. Gen 2 introduced the real-time clock, so that introduced days, the day-night cycle. We will see demonstrations of the day-night cycle in this run. I'll explain more when it becomes a specific thing. So we're going to call ourselves Taco, a wonderful name.
There's a fairly easy way to remember which gender is optimal for every single generation of Pokemon speedruns,
Go
which
ahead.
is pick the girl.
It's
Every single time.
It is
it's
always
optimal.
the girl. Now,
It's not even a bit. It's actually time save.
in later games like Gen 3, for example, picking the girl character is quite imperative for manipulating what your rival's team will be. It's not quite that deep in this game. I will explain more why the girl is optimal. It's kind of niche. Before I get into like specifics, I want to just talk about what the category actually means. So, Glitchless and Manipless. So Glitchless just means no glitches, no out of bounds, no ace, arbitrary, code execution, none of that shenanigans. And Manipless means no RNG manipulation whatsoever. So if you're familiar with Gens 1 to 5, I believe, most any percent glitchless runs will do some kind of manipulation. So in this game, it would involve doing save and quits to get a starter Pokemon with perfect stats, get no encounters in the grass, or in Gen 2, they can basically manip the entire first split of the game now, thanks to the runner Huangbro who broke the game. We won't be doing any of that. What starter do you think I'm going to pick, by the way?
It's going to be Totodile, I'm guessing.
You are correct.
Um,
I need the nickname for my Totodile, by the way. Sorry, I've sprung that on you.
I was just plugging that we haven't got a name for the rival yet. So let me quickly go back to this. Right, this one's going to be
spell it out,
Just
Lord.
spell it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go figure it.
BRYNNIGAMI.
BRYNNIGAMI.
Oh, yeah.
Renegami?
Yeah. Brigangami.
Renegami. That
Renegami.
reference to something?
Uh,
Oh, it might be like a Digimon reference or something.
Digimon.
Does it
my
say it was
Pokemon
claimed
speed.
by Neko Heart?
No, it
Ah.
says Taco.
Oh,
Oh, Taco redeemed the name for the character and the Pokemon. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
chat.
But, chat, we still do have Name Your Rival. So, if you want pizza to go against taco, I might be hungry, chap.
All right.
We've got a genetically modified Totodile here, or
All
are
right.
we...
So the normally, as I say in Manipped runs, they would manipulate a Totodile with legitimately perfect statistics. Perfect attack, perfect defense, perfect everything. I check my stats, and I want this run to just be completely Manipless. We're not saving, we're not doing anything. So you will notice I just walked in the lab, we took a Totodile, and we're going to finish the game. Underestimate. Copium. No encounters. This isn't Manipped. So generally what you would reset for in the lab, in Manipless, you wouldn't save before the Totodile. You would reset in like a beginner situation for 12 attack at level 5. Sorry? Sorry, if I'm mid-fort, I have a brain crash. So as a beginner, you would reset for 12 attack at level 5, which is 5+, and you typically reset for 10 special attacks, 10 special defense, which is 6 special. I should explain, in this game it's DVs, determinate values. In later games they changed it to IVs, you might be more familiar with, individual values. In this game, stats range from 0 to 15. In later games they're 0 to 31. So you can imagine a stat is basically twice as important. So when I say a beginner would reset for 5 attack, 6 special, that's kind of like 10 and 12 if it was IVs. I have bad attack and bad special, which are the 2 most important statistics. So we're off to a blinder.
I did notice those numbers were rather low. Just for like an even more general context, DVs and IVs are what you might consider a Pokemon's genetics. Like, does the Pokemon have good attack genetics, good speed genetics?
Absolutely.
It's just a baseline addition to those stats if the number is higher across the board.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of like the hidden value that determines what we see. And then as we kill more things, we get... in newer games, it's called EVs. In this game, it's called Stat XP. It's much more complicated and annoying, which contributes to the growth that we will see. So you saw me kill a level 3 Caterpie. Hopefully I would have got more experience. I only got 3 encounters, which is pretty good. Below average. I think the average to get here is about 4. I need experience. In Crystal, you don't actually need mandatory experience in the early game. In Gold, you do, funnily enough. To make the experience route work, you actually need 15 experience in Gold, so you always kill a wild encounter. In Crystal, you do not. However, early experience will make the early game much safer, particularly the first gym. Especially when I've just got random stats. It's going to hopefully bail us out of a few situations. Alright, we're getting a phone call from Prof. Elm. This game, so Gen 2, was introduced in Gold, technically. Introduced the phone and a rematch system, so we'll get lots of unskippable phone calls from characters in the game. And if you wanted to, you could also use the phone to battle other trainers in the game, like do rebattles. Right, picking up the berry there. Just gonna get a few extra safety items as we go. Coming up to Rival 1. Back in the day, they used to give your rival the Pokemon that is strong against yours. I know, crazy. In modern games, they make it a walkover. Fun fact, the rival is awful in this game, and he will be a menace. Thankfully, in the first fight, they do not have a grass move. Do not want to see Growl turn 1, but it is about 56%. There you go. So it's optimal to technically only lower the Chikorita's defense once and then just spam tackle. Spam scratch, sorry. Pretty clutch that Totodile does have scratch instead of tackle. Any speedrunner will tell you that although tackle is 95% accurate, 95% accurate is basically 50% accurate, but scratch is 100% accurate, which is huge for us.
Any Gen 4 or before speedrunner Tackle gets a big buff in Gen 5.
Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
See, that's why we have this quality.
That's the ball knowledge. Tackle goes from 35 power, 95 accuracy to 5100 in Gen 5 onwards. So if this was Gen 5, you'd have loved to have had Tackle over Scratch.
All right. You did say I checked the stats there. The stats come up and I can't stop them popping up. I am just manually checking my stats at level up and writing them down. The old-fashioned way, back in my day, people would typically use a tracker on the computer to like perfectly work out their stats, but I couldn't be bothered like setting that old palaver up, and I don't have a laptop or anything, so I thought I'll just write it down and we'll figure it out, which is going great.
Glitchless, Manipless, laptop.
I'm guessing we didn't get a rival nickname in which case I'll offer Star the chance to nickname the rival.
For the sake of honor, let's go for the other Pokemon runner, Alapo. A-L-A-A-P-O.
Yes, that is unfortunately we weren't able to meet that incentive, but we do have a donation if you're happy for me to read it.
Shoot, yeah, absolutely.
So we've got a $5.54 donation from Kesenchu. I'm so sorry.
Kesenchu.
Yeah.
Kesenchu?
Kesenchu,
yes.
The message says, "Hi, I was saving all my donation money for this run still to come, but I couldn't help donate in honor of the splendid Togepi hoodie. Cheers from Brazil."
Thank you so much.
They have put their incentive towards Link to the Past sprite choice, which, of course, it is Guy Fieri.
I think Kesenchu is the #1 ESA marathon viewer of all time. That guy posts his Twitch recap at the end of the year, and he has 6,000 hours watched.
Oh my goodness!
It's crazy.
All right, coming back into the grass here. I only have partial XP, so I killed one thing. Ideally, we killed 2 things for 6 total levels of XP. 6 levels being optimal because I want 42 experience at least before the first gym, which will give me an additional level up before I enter the gym. Also in this grass, we have 40% to see a Sentret. Sentret is clutch because it is a HM friend, and it's a Pidgey. Of course it's a Pidgey. All my homies hate Pidgey. Yeah, like I say, HM friends, we will be catching at least 2 other things to help us on our way. And Sentret would learn the move Cut. I am going to come in here and just do a wee shop. This is, you would not normally shop in runs, but a little bit of safety just so I've got some extra potions for the gym in case of shenanigans. Normally when you get to the first gym, one or 2 crits is fine, depending on what crits you, but it can get messy, so for the sake of a marathon, I would rather be safe. We're going to kill this, complete my XP. Caterpie's nice because it's only 50% to damages. And ideally we take as little damage as possible for the gym. Alright, let's see these stats. Checking my special, please. 11, 12. Alright, this one's full. Coming up to the legendary trainers. Mikey, that's Joey on the left. Famous Joey and his Rattata. Unfortunately, we don't fight Joey because we can just walk through the grass and dodge him. He wasn't smart enough to actually force us to fight him.
Youngster Joey is infamous for having a line saying that his Rattata is in the top 1% of all Rattata.
He knew about DVs.
Yeah,
how he knew that?
But he knows about DVs. He knows that some Rattata are better inherently than other Rattata. But he doesn't really understand the meaning of the word top because in the game's code, his Rattata has 0 DVs in every single stat.
That
so
would
he
be
has
hilarious, yeah.
The worst Rattata in existence.
Poor Joey.
Standard youngster Joey moment.
Yeah.
1 in 16 to the 5 terrible levels of Rattata.
Right. So I should probably explain why we use Totodile. One of the main reasons is this move that you saw me learn at level 7, which is Rage, which is the most busted game to learn at level 7 in all of Pokemon. The reason for that is every time we take damage, as you saw, there'll be if I take damage after using Rage, there will be a text box that appears that says Rage is building. And what that does is essentially gives us an attack boost. It's like an attack modifier every turn, and it stacks like forever. Which basically means we can defeat anything, assuming we can survive enough hits to get the stacks.
It also means that like early members of an opponent's party are effectively set up fodder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if an opponent has a hard final mon that has some fluff up front that you can set up on, not to presume too early, but Whitney.
We will see on Falconer me actually butter up his first Pokemon to take out the second one. But yeah, like I say, Rage is absolutely crucial compared to Chikorita and Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil suffers in the game in the first gym. We've had remarkably few encounters, by the way, and brilliant. Best encounter I could have actually seen. Poliwag is the perfect early game encounter. Why did I swap that there? That was weird. Because, talking of HM friends, Poliwag learns 2 HMs in 1. And level 4, it only has 1 move, so we can instantly teach 2 moves over, and it's really fast. The 2 moves that Poliwag learns that we need are Whirlpool and Waterfall, which we only see once each in the game, but we need them to advance. So obviously, because Poliwag learns both, and we see it in the early game, and it only does like 1 damage, it is the best encounter you could have seen. I'm very happy about that. As you can see, even though Poliwag's at low HP, it did break out of the ball. Gen 2 catch rates are notoriously horrendous. I don't have to nickname this, but I will. Shout out Stone. Even if it's at 1 HP, it's basically never guaranteed to get in the ball. I think the highest it goes I've ever seen in a catch rate calculator is like 95. That catch rate was probably about 75. Alright. Going to equip a berry. Gen 2, I kind of glossed over it when I picked up the berry, but Gen 2 introduced holdable items, which, in the case of berries, our Pokemon is smart enough to eat himself. What a G. And what a berry does is it recovers 10 HP in battle, which we actually need in order to win this fight in most cases. I'll just, yeah. Double checking that I did swap Rage to slot 1, because I messed it up a bit on the Poliwag though.
Did it on the Poliwag fight.
Yep.
Gen 2 introduced a couple of berries. There was a lot more added later on. But weirdly, a bunch of the berries that it introduced then got renamed with the same purpose.
Yep.
And
they have fantastic names in Gen 2.
Berry is the best berry name of all time. Later renamed to Autumn Berry. Miracle Berry is cure status, yes? Or is that 30 HP?
30 HP is Gold Berry. We don't actually see a Miracle Berry.
Yeah, okay, well then...
It might be where it heals anything.
Yeah, Miracle Berry heals all status, gets changed to Lumberry, and Gold Berry is like...
That's kind of like a citrus?
Yeah, it heals 30 HP, and then in Gen 3 that gets called a Citrus Berry, which heals 30 HP, and then in later generations gets upgraded to healing a quarter of your max HP.
Alright, so you can see Rage coming in clutch there on the Spearow. It didn't look like much because we kind of were just talking over it. That Spearow is genuinely awful. And one of the main reasons you want XP for a marathon setting is if you have bad defense, which I did, the Spearow does 8 damage instead of 6, which when you only have 30 HP is a pretty big difference. So me getting the extra level up before Spearow meant that it still only did 6 damage as it normally would. And because the Spearow is faster than us, you can imagine if we get crit, it starts to get messy really quick.
The mathematics of Pokemon damage calculation has some properties in it that I don't have the perfect memory to explain here, but it means that at low level there's some funky damage rolls, even if you only change like a stat by 1, where you can go from 6 to 8. There's actually a rather famous example where a very specific combination of moves, Pokemon, stats, items, etc. can have a 15 and 16 chance to do 1 damage and a 1 in 16 chance to do 10, I believe.
I'm not sure.
I think it's like some weird Aquajet on Onyx with like 4x weaknesses but 180 defense, where the multipliers start to compound based on the roll, because the damage calculator always rounds down, and the random damage variable in the damage calculator is just a multiplier of 1. So as soon as you times it by less than 1, because to have the 15% damage variance, it's just 1 down to times by 0.85, and every value in between.
Okay. In a little bit of trouble there, because partially because I used the extra rage on Poliwag, but also you will have noticed that Pidgey missed tackle on turn 1, which means that I didn't get a stack to that rage. Only lost 1 turn in a potion, not a big deal. But yeah, it's actually another spot where tackle miss is bad is obviously we want the rage stacks to boost our attack. Pidgeotto is faster than us, and it's a 2-shot. It's actually a 2-shot range. So it would have actually been a range to die even if I did have the extra rage, but yeah, tackle miss was bad there. Costs a turn and a potion, but not the end of the world. And that's 1 gym down. Faulkner's gym, his badge gives us what's known as an attack badge boost. So whenever we use a physical move from here, so Scratch for example, our moves will have a 12.5% boost to their power, which is wonderful in the early game because most of the things that we're going to be doing in the early game use physical moves. The badge also gives you a boost to the type associated with that gym, so it would boost flying type moves, but we won't be using any of those. And now, we talk to this wonderful man beside us, he works for Professor Elm, and he's like, yo, we found this egg. Here, 10-year-old girl that we sent on an adventure, have this egg and report back.
Have
Thanks.
an egg in this trying time.
Yes, and then he just leaves. And we're like, oh, cool, thanks. No spoilers as to what is in the egg, by the way.
Is it another egg?
That would be good.
Wait until you hear about the egg that hatches into
Like,
other eggs.
We didn't have
It's cute.
I know.
Thank you.
like we didn't have time to put in the code Pokemon for it, so they just put another egg in it. That'd be good. You will have noticed I picked up the best berry, Perscure berry. Brilliant name for a berry. Get your guesses in chat as to what the Perscure berry does. You'll never guess. Okay.
Does it send me to sleep?
Is that what my explanation did?
No, I'm joking. Pulling your leg. I never learnt the berries. I just picked them up and went, I'm going to sell this.
Yeah, exactly. And they sell for $5.
Yeah, you hoard a load and then you just sell them all off when you get to the Elite Four because you're vastly undertrained with zero idea what IVs, LVs, everything they are. You just go, I like this Pokemon. It's cute.
I think LVs are a life insurance company.
All right. We do have a Bellsprout on screen. Technically, Bellsprout is a HM friend. It learns Cut. However, it just spams Vine Whip. It does have Growth as well, so it's 50-50 Growth or Vine Whip. However, Vine Whip does about half of my... it does about a third of my HP.
Baby!
Also, Wooper. Woo! Unfortunately, I don't need Wooper. And I'm not on world record pace, so I can't afford to catch it.
Womp womp, I'm now very sad.
But like I said, I'm not risking catching a Bellsprout in a marathon, because if it crits me, or if it sets up growths and it keeps breaking out of Pokeballs, I could just die. And I don't want to do that. So, Wooper is actually potentially a good encounter, I will explain. Wooper can replace Poliwag, kind of. Wooper only learns Why am I doing that? I had a weird brain fart moment there. We're going to just equip this. And we're going to use the repel that we picked up. But yeah, like I say, Wooper can learn Whirlpool on its own, which is only half of the HMs that Poliwag learns, but we could have picked up another Mon later for Waterfall. Alright, you're going to see a very crucial mechanic here for Gen 2 speedruns, which is a spinner. A spinning trainer. This is the first one that we will try and pass. I say try because we got past the first spinner. Yes! I say try because they are completely random. You will have seen me pausing the menu in front of him. The reason I pause the menu is basically just a reaction time thing. So I try and react to him spinning, and I open the bag as quickly as I can. And as the bag is opening, I can still see him on screen, and I can see if he's looked in my direction. So it's kind of just like a safety net, but it doesn't actually manipulate his spins in any way. We're going to pass 32 spinners in this run. I think there's 18 spinners for 32 passes. They are completely random. We cannot control them, I must stress that. That's other than a few of the key fights, spinners are one of the big time sinks in this run. They can spin randomly every 2 frames, any direction. They can do 180s, and there's a 1 in 32 chance that they can get stuck in a good or bad direction. That was pretty good. Tackle Misser on the last turn. We didn't actually need the Rage Stack, but you can see again on that fight whilst I was yapping away. Helps us just destroy those Coughings. The Coughings are good. That guy is an optional trainer, but we fight him because he gives a lot of XP for a 5-turn fight. Funnily enough, if I had been hit by that first spinner, I would have skipped the guy with the Coughings because the XP kind of like fixes itself. I am going to save for this guy. This guy's called Anthony. And if we hit him, it's GG. It's actually just run over because it's almost impossible to beat him. He's got a Geodude and a Machop, but his AI just likes to spam physically attacking moves. And we don't have Water Gun yet, you may have noticed. Totodile learns Water Gun at level 13. We are still level 12. So we would be spamming Rage against a rock, and we wouldn't be able to get enough stacks up before he just obliterated us. That's why I had to save for that. Anthony is a menace. Funnily enough, in Gold, you could fight him because in Gold, there's a lot of more early mandatory experience, so you would be higher level though. Alright, little shop. We always shop here. It's going to be slightly modified to what I would normally do in PB attempts.
Whilst you're shopping, am I able to get in a donation?
Oh, I don't have money.
As well too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got a $5 donation from xdropdead_AdamX. Guessing what that berry was to do, and they've asked, does the berry cure stage fright?
I could have done with one of those. I wish it did.
That is contributing to the target of Ultros, the final fight the final boss incentive that we have got running at the moment. Target, not incentive, target. That we have $385 left to go.
Yes, please keep getting your donations in. It's for a wonderful cause, and there's many incentives to go. And this is a long run, so plenty of time to give Lozzie a job. All right, so...
Hey!
Oh, sorry, that was a bit mean. My tone of voice there was a bit cruel.
No,
We love it.
It's fine. I just sensed the Dylan in you then.
There was a bit of Dylan in me.
That was...
He's here in spirit within me, you see.
What did he tell you to do?
He told me nothing, actually. All right, so we learned Water Gun. Yay. Again, on this fight's actually pretty dangerous. In PB attempts, you don't always level to level 13 here, which is actually one of the clutch factors of getting the XP. We've actually had a pretty safe fight here. He got, I think, Tail Whip miss on turn 1, which is good because Tail Whip lowers our defense and he would be doing more damage. But generally in PB attempts, you're dead to a crit on that on the last turn.
Assuming the Tail Whip hits.
Yeah, assuming the Tail Whip hits, and you don't have the level up in between the two Ratstars, it can actually be a low-key dangerous fight. If you're on a run where you can't afford to get crit and you just have to YOLO it, yeah, you can die there quite easily. You may have noticed, I should say, we did not repel for in here. That's because this area, Slowpoke Well, has a extremely low encounter rate. Encounter rates work out of 256, so in normal grass it's 25 out of 256, so a bit under 10%. In the cave here, it's only 5 out of 256, so it's actually less than 2% for an encounter. And after we battle a trainer, we have 4 tiles of immunity, or a turn frame plus 3 or 4. So there's only about 15 tiles where we can get an encounter, and it's extremely low encounter rate. This fight is also potentially quite troll, and we've got bad stats. So if we had good special attack, like you would in PB attempts, the Zubat would have been a 2-shot range, and the Ekans is guaranteed to die in 3 hits. However, because of the weird way that damage works in this game, we're nowhere near being able to 3-shot this Ekans. So we just have to tank the time loss of an extra turn there. Whilst I was yapping, I think I saw a supersonic mess from the Zubat. Supersonic, thankfully for us, is only 55% accurate in this game. All of the Zubats in Slowpoke Well here are 50-50 to use Supersonic or Leech Life. Leech Life being preferable, because it does very little damage. Going to be utilizing Rage here. Typically, you would Water Gun spam this fight for just like a more consistent fight. And if you had good attack, you would just scratch this as a backup. However, I have neither of those. So I will just be raging like you've been seeing. Quick Attack turn 1 is extremely uncommon. The AI for this trainer, and then he Tail Whips. Bizarre. This guy's AI, he is favored to Tail Whip turn 1, and then we would hope for tackle and quick attacks. He uses moves in reverse for some inexplainable reason. So again, 50-50 to use Leech Life. I want Leech Life for the Rage stack here, preferably. Pretty cool. Funnily enough, if you had really good attack, and like if you're level 15, for example, the strat here in gold, you always Rage here in gold, because this last Zubat is a range to die. However, because we've got abysmal attack, yeah.
Never.
Okay, we do get Supersonic. Thankfully, I equipped the Bitter Berry, yeah! Which cures the status confusion. Pretty clutch to pick that up because we face several Pokemon that can confuse us in the early game.
We saw in the last battle, Tail Whip get used but then say, but it failed. That's what status moves say in Gen 1 and 2 if they miss. There's no legitimate reason for them failing, it's just that's their text box for missing, unlike attacking moves or unlike in later generations where they just say they've missed like all other attacks.
So yeah, status moves, I'm pretty sure Tail Whip is actually technically 100% accurate, but in this game, some status moves, Smog Miss is wonderful, some status moves and stats that try and modify our stats, moves that try and modify, I can't speak. So moves like Tail Whip that try and drop our defense, Growl that can try and drop our attack, String Shot, for example, all have an additional 25% to miss when the opponent uses them, but not when I use them, which is actually really clutch. It also applies to things like Poison Powder, Stun Spore, things like that. So it's actually really a really cool feature. You'll be thrilled to know that we're 3 seconds under my estimate for this split.
Whoa.
We're on pace, boys.
Whoa. He doesn't lie.
Getting in and getting excited. Hold. Pause.
The estimate on this is tight for the duration of the category.
It is, yeah.
World record in this is a very low 330.
World record is a 317, actually.
Oh,
317.15. However, because it's Manipless, you can imagine there's just inevitable variance that's going to come in here. This Ladybat, 50% to use Supersonic as well. The fun fact about this trainer, these trainers specifically, you'll see I walked to her from the right twin. If we walked in front of the left twin, she would have actually sent out Spinnerack first. So the one that we walk in front of manipulates what she sends out first. We want Ladybar first because the Spinnerack has 2 moves that can drop our speed. And ideally we want to be faster than the Ladybar when it appears because the Ladybar can confuse us. I'll quit this. So we do the Ladybar first. Thankfully it did not confuse us. And fun fact about those trainers, they're the trainer class called Twins. And Twins are the only trainer class in the game with no AI layers whatsoever. They are basically just as smart as wild Pokemon. So if you're already confused with Supersonic, she can just spam Supersonic over and over again. And they're the only trainers in the game that do that. Tackle is really good on this guy. He's actually favored to String Shot turn 1. So Tackle's good because we're still faster than the Caterpie on turn 2. And we'll be faster than his second Pokemon, which again is good because we give his Weedle 1 less turn to poison us because it's very likely to just spam Poison Sting.
Non-Gen 2 interesting fact about the Twin Trainer class. In Gen 3 and onwards, once they introduce double battles, the Twin Trainer class can share their double battle Pokemon, whereas other double battles do not get to share their Pokemon, meaning you can eliminate one side and the other side can have like multiple Pokemon in the back. You can't do that for twins, they share their entire pool of Pokemon.
That's interesting.
I just like the fact that the Weedle looked really, really like concerned / confused. Like, why?
Well, we get to see another one, so we'll be able to see Lozzie's. He does look a bit. He looks sad. He's like, please don't hurt me. Oh, we'll water gun to the face. I'm very sorry.
Oh, poor thing.
So you may have noticed this guy's actually a spinner, so he was randomly spinning around. This guy's called Benny. He's a bit of a menace. He's about 10% to hit you, even when you take safe passes because of the way spinners work. And you have to pass him twice ordinarily. The reason he was stuck up, first of all. So like I said, they're 1 in 32 to get stuck, and he was stuck in the only bad direction, basically. However, Benny gives a lot of experience, and it's going to make a few fights a lot safer. I wanted Fury Attack to miss to showcase why it's good. I think it's 85% accurate. He missed again. 85% accuracy, by the way. Fury Attack is good.
No shot.
Fury Attack's good because each individual hit of Fury Attack gives us a Rage boost. So it can hit 2 to 5 turns. So it hit 3 times, and we got 3 Rage stacks. So we did loads of damage. If that had happened on turn 1, we would have done about 80% of its HP in one hit. So like I say, you would normally just try and dodge him, but because my stats are horrendous...
The XP from Beedrill is incredibly important here.
Absolutely. So, crucially, we will get an extra level up mid-fight here, and before one of Rival 2's Pokemon. Spoiler.
Not many fully evolved Pokemon giving out free XP this early in the game.
He is unfortunately one of the slowest spinners. As you can see, like he can miss, and Fury Attack's just a pretty slow move. And we have no good way of really killing the Beedrill. Alright, the astute amongst you will have noticed that I picked up an X attack on my travels in Union Cave there, and we will use it on this fight for increased consistency on basically mainly for his main Pokemon. Tackle is wonderful. This Metapod is favored to use String Shot or Harden on the first 2 turns. Then ideally we would just want to see Tackle spam to give us the extra stacks. He has a thrilling team of Cocoons here, but at least he was astute enough to give them Tackle. This Kakuna is favored to Harden turn 1, which is fine. Poison Sting would be fine here, but just don't poison me, ideally. I said it. The reason
poison into existence, then.
Yep. I will things into existence. Well, you'll see that. Benny is, Bugsy is a bit of a menace for his ace is a level 16 Cypher, which is pretty bloomin' OP. And it's the reason we got the X attack. If you don't get the X attack here, we would have only done about half its HP, and it's actually a range to kill the Cypher in 2 hits. And a lot of times, if you give the Cypher a 3rd turn, you die. So
the Cypher is getting progressively stronger because the power of Fury Cutter increases each consecutive time it lands.
Exactly. We'll actually, fun fact, we'll be seeing more of Fury Cutter. But as Staratar said, Fury Cutter is basically like bug-type Rage, but the amplifier is even greater. Fury Cutter is actually a weaker move, but each stack has more of a substantial effect on our attack boost. And I will be teaching it right now, actually. Fun fact. Pretty close that he gives us the move Fury Cutter, because we need it to beat the very next fight. Now, you know how bad Rival 2 is in Pokemon speedruns, right?
I've seen a Generation 3 1 or 2 in my time.
Yep. It's actually quicker to not heal poison, and then, because doing an extra menu just to heal the poison is really slow. So I'll just walk over here and... sorry about the poison ticks, by the way. I should have done a warning for that. So we're going to teach Fury Cutter, like I say. We're about to fight Rival 2. Fun fact, in my PB/world record attempts in this game, my win rate on this fight, with good stats, is less than 40%. Fingers crossed. This is genuinely, I think, the worst fight in this room.
Is this
It's definitely top 3, whichever way you sort of look at it, but this is...
Does he have his Bayleaf? Is this Ghastly Bayleaf?
That's right. So obviously, you know, he picked Chikorita because he's a genius against our grass type. Against our water type, excuse me. He leads with a Ghastly. Ghastly has Hypnosis, which is pretty bad, and Lick. Lick is 30% to Paralyzers. Didn't jinx myself. Wonderful. That's a good turn 1. Ideally, you just don't want to get paralyzed or put to sleep on turn 1. The Benny experience gives us level 19, which is an extra level up before Bayleaf. And now we are relying on the move Fury Cutter. Fun fact about Fury Cutter, it's only 95% accurate. Can you believe that? A move that can miss? That is the perfect turn 1, by the way. Poison Powder Miss is the best possible turn 1. He's extremely likely to Razor Leaf turn 2, in all cases.
Don't crit and we're good. Yeah, and then hit the
I just have to hit the move.
Perfect.
Oh, I can't tell you how much of a relief that is.
Perfect.
And breathe a sigh of relief. We've managed to get past this.
A lot of fights, by the way. A lot of fights where I'll say, this is the worst fight in the game, and then we win and it looks easy. That happens a lot, but this fight, you can imagine, he's 1 in 3 to use Razor Leaf turn 1, along with Poison Powder and Reflect. Reflect is actually still fine, even though we're using a physical move, because Fury Cutter is so OP, we can still 3-shot through Reflect. It's a range, but we can still do it. Poison Powder hit was still fine. It's better than Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf is also 1 in 4 to crit. So standard crit rate in this game is 17 out of 256, which is about 1 in 15. So every move is about 1 in 15. Razor Leaf, however, is 1 in 4, and it's super effective, and it has same type attack boost. So it basically does 4 times damage, and is 1 in 4 to crit. And I have bad special, so I was taking more damage than normal. So if we got crit on turn 1, it might have been better to just reset, go again. It's that bad. Alright. Doing a Farfetch'd quest here. I have noticed I've defaulted to the standard movement. I was actually going to do an alt movement to pick up an item, but I'll just go get it now. So what I planned to do was pick this up and then go all the way around and talk to the Farfetch'd from the right-hand side. However, I forgot. So we'll just default to the standard there. We need to do this Farfetch'd quest to get a very important item from this gentleman who has appeared. He's the charcoal guy, and he's like, "Yo, you found my Pokemon. Here's cut." I've just remembered a crucial piece of information, by the way. Do you want to know what it is?
Rip it. Send it.
I I do not have a HM friend for cut, and I forgot. You didn't remind me. Oh no.
Don't remind me to remind you. What do you
Oh,
want?
Yeah.
wow. So,
And,
can we go back and get a Wooper now?
Can we go back to 10 seconds ago when I hadn't used the repel? It's fine. We can walk around listening to this great music. Yeah. So, fun fact, we would have ideally not used a repel. We're 55% to get a cutter in here. The good encounters are Oddish, 50%, Paris, 5%. There's also a 10% Psyduck encounter, which Psyduck is actually pretty funny because it replaces Poliwag. It learns Whirlpool and Waterfall. But it's basically... That's beautiful. First encounter. 55%. I was actually really scared about forest encounters because I've had runs where I've gone like 10 dry, waiting for good encounters. Alright, like I say, encounter rates are pretty bad, but we have 4 Pokeballs, so it's about 95% for this to get in one of these balls. Alright.
We'll take that.
So, if we forget that we had to walk around waiting for the repel to wear off and we just pretend that it broke out of like 3 balls, it's basically the same. So, we'll just pretend that happened. I should have repelled immediately, but not the...
do you not get multiple tiles of grace after a wild? Like, surely it was fine regardless.
After a catch, I think it's different. I could be wrong. After a catch, I think it's actually only 1 tile plus a turn frame.
I think we took 2 steps, so...
So my repel situation is interesting, but we'll just wing it. I need to get... fun fact, I pick up every item in the forest except for 1. Basically for the money route. The money route in like standard routes is unbelievably tight in Crystal. It's fine in Gold, because in Gold you fight a lot of additional mandatory trainers. But in Crystal, as you can see, we were basically under-leveled for the whole early game, because we can just dodge a lot of trainers that were mandatory in Gold. But it also means that we have a lot less money. So our shopping situation is interesting. So I'm picking up a lot of extra items so I don't have to buy them, and so that I can sell later. Got a TM there. We go very much out of our way to get this TM for Headbutt. Headbutt is... They actually skip it in Glitchless, where in Glitchless, fun fact, they catch another Pokemon as a main. So they get rid of Croconaw before Morty. So they actually skip Headbutt completely because it's not worth the detour. But for us in Manipless, Headbutt is an extremely good move. I'll explain more specifically why it's really good when we start using it more. But for now, gonna pick up these Ethers. Not for the intended purpose of what an Ether is. An Ether traditionally replenishes 10 PP or power points to any move that you use it on. Right, we still got... Oh, last tile. It's all planned. I had it figured out, don't worry about it. Anyways.
This is my favourite music from any Pokemon game. I love Goldenrod.
It's cozy, right? Yeah. Gen 2 actually has all around a brilliant soundtrack. There's not really many bad tracks.
Goldenrod City real cozy till the Voltorb flip start.
All right.
No, no Voltorb
no Voltorb
today.
flips in Gen 2. All right. We're coming.
Sorry, my year of birth begins with a 2. I wouldn't know.
We're coming up to a very scary part of the run. We affectionately call this Spinner Hell. I will concentrate. Beautiful.
Nice.
So you can see the girl at the bottom is a spinner, but she only has 1 tile vision, so we can go out of her range. The second guy that I paused in front of is a spinner. He has 2 tiles vision, so he can see us for both the tiles next to him. Which is bad, because each bike step is 8 frames, so he has an additional 8 frames to see us. I'll play this safe. And the 2 guys at the top, the one on the left is actually a rotator on a fixed pattern, so we can kind of figure him out. The guy on the right is a spinner. both those spinners are pretty slow. They've got 4 and 3 Pokemon respectively. And the XP isn't crazy valuable at this point. So we'll try and pass them again. I cut that grass, by the way. We can't afford a repel, and it's actually faster on average to cut the grass than risk encounters in both directions. Right, here we go again. Beautiful. Fantastic. All right.
Beautiful. That was close. He flipped to the right there.
Yeah. So it's called Spinner Hell because, fun fact, we'll pass through there again. I have to pass both of those guys 3 times in total, so 6 total passes. You will notice the guy at the top on the way down, I actually didn't pause the open the bag to check. What I actually did was, when he spun to a good direction, I got on the bike, and I basically used the bike as like a buffer. Because when you get on the bike, it actually pauses the overworld spinners. And there's like, when you get on the bike, there's lag. And I can use that lag basically as like a replacement for the bag buffer. Pretty niche, like, little tech, but it's cool. This Snubble's a bit of a menace. It has Charm, which can lower our attack, but it failed because it's 25% to miss. I love Gen 2.
A lot of status misses.
And we got
then we get the flinch.
Beautiful. One of the reasons why Headbutt is so good. I said I wasn't going to explain it just yet, but there you see an example of why Headbutt is good. Alright, we're pretty close to full HP. I am going to be a chicken and heal that 5 HP because... why not?
Because Whitney.
Yeah. And Whitney is one of the most notorious fights in Gen 2/Gen 4. Most people famously know her for her Miltank. And whilst Miltank is pretty cringe in this run, and most of the runs that if you die to Whitney, you do die to the Miltank. However, that's because you've been buttered up by her lead Pokemon, which is, of course, Clefairy. And the reason why Clefairy is potentially one of the worst Pokemon in this run that we fight is because on turn 1, it's 50% to use Metronome. We got...
Oh, come on.
Metronome can randomly... I'm actually just going to reset that.
Yeah. That's about as, like, beyond a ridiculous stats move. I think that's the worst it could have been.
It's quite bad, yeah. I could have swapped, actually, if I'd reacted. Metronome can choose, I think it's about 239 moves at random. Any move. There's about 10 moves on the list where it can't choose them, but it's about 239 moves. Like you saw, Pedal Dance.
Yeah, it's all moves with an asterisk. There's some exceptions. No Transform, for example.
Okay, so like I said, 50% to use Metronome turn 1. It's also got Double Slap, and now it's 1 in 3 with the additional 33% being Mimic. Mimic is probably the best move it can use. It will mimic copies the last move that I used. Double Slap is fine because it's not Metronome, but it's pretty slow, as you can see. It kind of works like Fury Attack did on... We've missed Fury Cutter again. So you can see, again, why this fight is... I'm actually just going to heal. You can see why this fight is pretty cringe. I need to get through 6 Fury Cutters, 5 Fury Cutters. And like I said, it's 95% accurate, man. Sandstorm. So you can see why in PB attempts, this fight is just, like, the worst. So, like I said, people... I'm going to get...
Almost being nearly an hour in as well.
Paraberry coming in clutch, by the way. Perscure Berry for the win. Like I said, most people think of Miltank being the worst. The Sandstorm is actually potentially good for Miltank. But it's really Clefairy that you worry about. My first ever Whitney, funnily enough, when I did runs of this game, my first ever Whitney, I got turn 1 self-destruct. You just die instantly.
Self-destruct in this generation has an effective... Oh.
So you can see that. That's actually a loss. On the Miltank, she is about 81% on turn 1 to use... Oops, forgot where I was. To use Rollout. Rollout is the best move. We want to see Rollout. She's about 18% to use Stomp. Stomp is bad because it does a lot of damage. And it's 30% to flinch. And because it's faster than us, it can flinch, and we lose our Fury Cutter stacks. We have to keep using Fury Cutter, and to maintain the stacks, and that's a goodness. The Stomp Flinch breaks the stacks. The additional small piece of percentage of move that Miltank can use is she's about 2.5% to use Attract, which basically immobilizes us in love, and it means that we have a 50-50 of not being able to hit the Miltank at all. That's a brilliant Clefairy, no dramas. We've died twice, but she'll let us through this time, you know? Rollout's brilliant.
Nice.
Fun thing with Rollout, once she's used it once and it's hit, she's beautiful crit.
Nice.
One of the best crits.
I think that is potentially the best Whitney physically possible, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I didn't see how many times Double Slap hit, but like if Double Slap hit 3, you could make it 2, and it'd be slightly better. But
I think it was turn 1, 5 turn, but that was very fast.
Yeah,
it was Double Slap, Mimic, Fury Cutter, I think, and then you crit. Best possible Whitney.
Yeah.
So you see, I'm glad we actually died there in a way, because you see both sides. Oops, I talked to her twice. You see both sides of the coin, right? You die turn 1, you have a slow death the second time, and then we win the way you want to win. So pretty bad fight. You can imagine how bad this split is in PB attempts. You do Rival 2, which is probably the worst fight in the run. You pass multiple spinners through Spinner Hell, and then you fight Whitney, who is probably like second or third worst fight in the run. So this is, you can imagine, a massive reset point in the run. All right, Whitney through.
I was saying self-destruct, that you got turn 1 self-destructed on. Self-destructing this gen has an effective base power of like 400. Stab from Clefairy, it would be 600 base power when you're level 20.
That's right. Self-destruct has a weird glitch where, oh, it's not a glitch, I think it's a feature, where it actually halves your defense as well as doing the damage. So it's like kind of multi-OP. Okay. Fun fact about this route is I'm going to do what's known as early underground. There's like a split tier in the EXP route. In gold, because you have more mandatory experience in the early game, and you're always level 21 here, you always do underground. They also want to get the coin case. Spoilers, we're not getting the coin case in this run. But because we fought Benny and we have the extra experience, it's worth it for us to come and fight these two trainers. We would actually have to come down here later in the run. Anyway, so these aren't optionals. We're just choosing to take a 10-second detour to fight them early and get the experience now. So it'll bulk us up a little bit for the next 20 minutes. And it also gives us a bit of extra money, so we'll just have an extra couple of items to see us through.
This is classic Gen 2 level scaling. This is an area that you were intending on coming to later, and the mandatory trainer has a level 10, has 2 level 10 Slowpokes. Yeah,
like I say, we would normally come back later. When, if I came back late, fought these guys later, I would have been level 40. And we're killing a level 7 Magnemite, so you know. I'm fighting them now so people don't complain about the level scaling.
I'm still complaining about the level scaling. You're 3 times his level.
Fun fact, this last Magnemite is actually a range to die because our special attack is so bad. Please die. Wonderful. He would just spam Thundershot because this guy has Smart AI, so he uses super effective moves when he has them. Alright, now we're going to do a huge shop. We do 2 massive shops in this run, and this is going to be the first one that'll get us through the next hour of the run. These NPCs control you, it's kind of weird. In fact, Felicia walked the other way. I will check my notes just to make sure I buy the right stuff, because I did mess the other shop up very slightly. So, those ethers that I picked up, yeah, money. Money, baby. I'm going to sell Attract, the TM that we got from Whitney. And we're going to buy TM33, which is Ice Punch. Very, very important move. I'll explain why when we teach it.
with earlier generations not having a physical special split. Ice Punch, despite being a punching move, is a special move in this generation, much to the dismay of Hitmonchan.
Yeah. Yeah, they give Hitmon all of the elementary punches, and they're all rubbish when he uses them.
And a 35 base special attack.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it is.
Do need that.
It is.
Oh, look at that money route. Oh, he's a genius.
Oh.
Forget how I messed it up earlier. It's all calculated.
You remember those two trainers we went out of our way just to do better quote-quote XP routing?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all part of the plan, baby. All right. You may notice that we never caught an HM friend for Fly, which is very crucial HM that we will need to zip around the map later on. And that's because this guy gives us a free Spearow called Kenya. He gives us it because we're going to go give it to a friend of his. But we're not actually going to do that. Cheers for the Spearow, mate. He's stuck. I love it.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to use the PC here. It works for two things. Crucially, they introduced in this game, if you deposit a Pokemon, it heals the Pokemon to full and replaces its power points. In Gen 1, it actually did not do that. If you put a fainted Pokemon in the PC, it would just remain fainted. What I would have also normally done there is deposited the egg, because we wouldn't want to watch the hatch animation and what have you. However, I thought it'd be funny, haha, if we had a donation incentive to... I shouldn't have used that repel. Because I use the extra repel in Forest. Doesn't matter. I thought it'd be funny if we did the donation incentive to just keep the egg. And then some schmuck paid $100 for it. I call him a schmuck because he's my best friend in PSR. Stern gave us $100 so that I would keep the egg, and we will hatch it. Very kind of him. Sudowoodo, by the way. I just glossed over that. It's the only one in the game, so if you don't catch that one, it's gone. Another spinner. Beautiful. Gonna make a beeline here for the Kimono Girls. These are mandatory fights, and we get them out of the way early because they give a lot of experience. Their gimmick is that they each have an evolution. What's your favorite evolution?
Are we counting Shiny? Specifically Shiny, it's Umbreon, but I guess Espeon.
Lozzie, favorite evolution?
Umbreon. Has to be Umbreon.
Why does everyone always say Umbreon?
I just always thought Umbreon looked really, really cool.
Mine is also Umbreon. That's boring. Chat, what is your favorite evolution? Help! It's everyone likes Umbreon. So, like I said, the gimmick is they each have an evolution. They all have the same moveset, basically. They all have Tackle, Tail Whip, Sand Attack, and then the elementary moves. So Water Gun, Pursuit, Confusion, Ember, Thundershock.
I know one person. I've got one friend that loves
Sylveon.
Sylveon.
Thank you.
And I've got a friend who also loves Jolteon. So there are others that do like them out there, but I mean...
Fellow fundraiser Mizu is a big fan of Jolteon. You'll frequently see him running both an Arcanine and a Jolteon out front.
We are getting a lot of... I can see a lot of Flareons. I've got a lot of Espeons in chat as well. So there is a good variation, but I've kind of... there we go. I was about to say, nobody said Eevee itself. And then I looked down and someone said Eevee itself.
Only that I'm playing a bunch of Gen 3 right now did I say Espeon, otherwise I would likely be saying Umbreon.
If it wasn't Umbreon, I'd probably say Leafeon, actually. I really like Leafeon, even though it's not in this game. Alright, I should probably explain Headbutt, as I sort of glossed over it a little bit. Headbutt's really good. It's a 70 base power move, and it's 30% to flinch if we are faster than the opponent, which basically locks them out of using a move on that turn. Also, crucially, it's not 70 base power, because we got the 12.5% badge boost from the first gym, and because we beat Whitney, who uses normal type moves, every time we use a normal type move after beating Whitney, they also have an additional 12.5% boost. So a headbutt is more like 85 power. Sand is bad because it lowers our accuracy. Hopefully we just keep hitting through.
So someone in chat is going to be funny and said that Inteleon is the best EV evolution.
Ban.
And that. Beyond just the pun, I'm fine with the pun, but you would rank it as the worst and not the best.
Gonna heal for this. They all have basically random AI. Other than, you know, like Flareon won't use Ember, for example, but other than that, they just have random AI. Except for this, which is Jolteon, because she has Smart AI, and Thundershock is super effective, so it does double damage against us. And it also has Stab, because it's an electric type using an electric type move. It's basically 4 times power. So this fight can get a bit messy. I don't have my Paralyzed Cure Berry anymore, and if it crits, it does over half my HP. Hence the safety save, just in case.
Are we a roll to die to crit here? We might be. Oh!
You have to ask. We have to hit through paralysis, by the way. Oh, I saw the berry.
No, you have another one. Because
we reset.
Hey.
Yeah, we lost the berry, we reset. Yeah, I was thinking ahead. I was like, we need that later on.
From my heart.
Star is literally about to die.
Lozzie, do you remember I spoke to you before about how I have an arcane ball and could just see
You just foresaw going,
Yeah.
no, you know, this is going to be really fun if I say this right now and then go, oh, wait.
There's a chance we're dead here.
Fun.
2 HP.
I did think, I was like, no, I think we do live, but I didn't want to say it.
Well, it did 73 to 49, it did 24, so if we just rolled 1 higher and crit, like I didn't know what the roll was in our Spadef. That would have needed to have been like the tied highest roll for us to not have been dead to crit. Crit high roll.
All right. I'm trying to think about what you're saying and what I'm thinking at the same time.
The math is...
we will trust his math. He's Scottish.
The math is correct. The math is correct. We're getting a big power spike here with additions to our moveset of Surf and Ice Punch.
Yep. So you have to beat the kimonos because they give us Surf, which we need to traverse the world. I didn't repel, I think. But I've only got 1 repel and I need 2 because I accidentally used 1 earlier. So I think this might be the best spot to wing it. Rage.
See how it goes.
This has a lower encounter rate. I think it's 10 out of 256, so it's like 4%.
Well, I guess the idea is that there probably shouldn't be too many mons here after it burned down.
I need to go 1 extra tile, so nearly.
Cool.
Not a huge time loss, it's fine.
Would you have gotten a grace afterwards or escape?
I get 4 tiles after this, yeah. I will save for this. This is Rival 3. So he leads again with the Ghastly Evo line, but it has evolved into Haunter. This fight is another one of those ones where you'll watch me save and you're like, why did he do that if it goes well? But it can snowball very badly. And this fight is probably the one fight I want the Paralyzed Berry the most for.
Because of this Haunter.
Because of this Haunter.
Yeah.
Now he's favoured to use the move Curse Turn 1, which is actually fine. What Curse does... Oops, forgot where my cursor was. What Curse does is... he lowers his own HP by half to inflict us with a Curse. As you see, what a Curse does is then every additional turn from this point on, I will lose 25% of my own HP. But the reason why Haunter's kind of scary is specifically because if it paralyzes on the last turn where we then kill it, we would be paralyzed still for Magnemite because I don't have the berry. And Magnemite is favoured to use Supersonic, and it just snowballs and you run out of full heals and it's awful.
Bayleaf notably gets a lot easier in this fight in comparison to Rival 2. Yeah. A better attack to hit it.
Crucially, we taught Ice Punch. Poison Powder is wonderful. He's only 1 in 3 to use Razor Leaf, and then 1 in 4 to crit, so it's like 8% to die in there, so it's not that crazy. But we get Ice Punch early just for the Bayleaf, by the way. In gold, for example, you don't actually have to come into Burn Tower at all. It's completely mandatory to come into Burn Tower in gold. But in crystal,
Completely optional.
they fixed it. Yeah, optional.
Yeah.
Did I say mandatory?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're good.
I'm cooked, chat. I'm cooked, chat. That's why we've got him. He knows what he's on about. It's optional in gold, but mandatory in crystal.
Thank you.
They fixed it. So in gold, it's just like a several-minute detour. But the reason they wanted you to come here in crystal is, of course, to release the legendary beasts. Not cats, not dogs, beasts. So you have a little cutscene here, and after this, they will be roaming the wild, and we could technically encounter one in the wild.
Now let's make the question for chat as well. What's your favourite out those three?
Yeah, that's right. Favorite beast? I forgot to heal.
Okay, I have a take. It doesn't matter so long as it's not Entei.
Is it not Entei?
It doesn't matter so long as it's not Entei. And I know that you know that there's at least one person that's angry about that take.
Fun fact about the Eevee. Eevee? Bro, I am cooked. Fun fact about the Legendary Beast. I actually had a run a few weeks ago where I randomly encountered a Raikou and caught it in a Pokeball. I just threw a Pokeball at it. The gimmick of the Legendary Beasts is if you encounter them in the wild, they always run away. So unless you've got a Pokemon that's faster than them and you like use Mean Look to try and lock them into the battle, they'll always run away. So I just YOLO'd it with a Pokeball because the run was pretty slow, and it got in, which is like less than 1% to get in. And
I
then
think it might be 1 in 256, right?
I don't know. It's crazy odds. And bearing in mind, it's pretty rare to find one at random anyway. Unbelievable scenes. This guy's called Sage Ping. Brilliant team maker. He's renowned for his skill at building teams. 5 Ghastlies. And we just one-shot all of them. If we had better special, we would spam Ice Punch against these to save the super effective text box. You can see every time I kill a Ghastly with Bite here, it says, it was super effective. And each time you see a super effective text box, it loses about 3/4 of a second. However, because we've got bad special, can't really do anything about that, and we can't afford the Surf PP.
Yeah. Notably, the Bite is actually doing less damage than a Surf would, just because of the differences in base power and the fact that we have Stab.
Exactly right.
So we must only be doing it for PP conservation.
Exactly right. I should talk about Bite, by the way. I kind of glossed over it when we learned Bite at level 21. Another reason why Totodile is just so good is it's got a brilliant moveset. Rage at the start, obviously, like we've talked about. Nightshade's kind of cringe. But we get Headbutt, Fury Cutter, which was clutch for Rival 2. We get Bite, Ice Punch. Bite has 25 power points, so really high power points, which is going to be clutch for sort of carrying us through the longer sections of the run. It's 60 power special move, so pretty powerful. It's Dark type, so it's super effective against these ghosts, which is also pretty clutch. And it's also 30% to flinch if we're faster, so it's kind of like Headbutt and Stomp, 30% to flinch. So Bite is actually an unbelievably good move. The good thing for Bite for us in the run is it's also neutral against quite a lot of types. So we, like I say, we want to avoid the super effective and not very effective text box when we can. So Bite definitely carries us for a bit through the mid-game.
I think Bite is 20, right?
20 what, sorry?
Percent chance to flinch.
It's 30. 30 in this game.
And this game changes later?
It might change later, but it's definitely 30 in this game.
Okay. Because I know, for example, well, not in this game, but Waterfall is 20% chance to flinch. But Waterfall doesn't flinch until Gen 4.
I don't know.
So there are like 20% chance to flinch moves, and I'm pretty sure Bite is at least at some point one of them.
I trust your judgment.
Headbutt is 30.
Granted, after this game, my knowledge falls off a cliff,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure.
Headbutt is definitely 30, but I think there's a chance Bite is 30.
Alright, gonna save for Morty here. Morty is another one of those fights where if it goes well, it's basically free. If it goes badly, we cry. His lead is Ghastly, which in itself is not that scary, but we do need to set up 2 X items. The first is going to be an X Speed, so that we outspeed his ace, and an X Special. The X Special allows us to one-shot 3 of his pokes and 2-shot his ace. We would not be able to win this fight very cleanly at all without these X items. He's favoured to use Curse on turn 1. There we see it. Which is actually fine. As long as we don't get paralyzed on this turn, we are kind of chilling.
Lionheart.
Good thing I have 4 full heals.
I yield.
Was I right?
10% and 1, 30% 2 onwards.
I should have used a super potion first. That would have been smart. I don't have a super potion. This is actually really bad. Contemplating resetting. It's going to spiral. I should have played it out to Gengar, really. What I should have done is use the potions before this fight. Oh, I have the hyper potion. I'm an idiot. It's fine.
Whilst we're going back into there, we have got a $5 anonymous donation. No message, but that has gone into the Link to Zelda Link to the Past sprite choice of Bananas in Pyjamas. Just want to take this moment whilst we are heading into this rematch that we are here raising money for charity. Sorry, my brain has stopped working halfway
It is
through.
early in the morning.
We're all
Garrett.
doing our
People are
best,
sick. We are running on steam, boys.
And we are working with the lovely, wonderful charity Make-A-Wish Foundation. They are a charity that is aiming to grant wishes to children who are got critical illnesses that just want to do even the smallest things to the biggest of bits. So please, small donations, big donations, even if you just want to tell us what your favourite Pokemon is and why my opinions are wrong, please do to get them in.
Donate the Dex number. If your favourite Pokemon is Arceus, donate $4.93.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. But just so that I can get this ball rolling, my favourite Pokemons are Dragonite and Quagsire. Just because Dragonite was my first ever favourite Dragon type, Quagsire is my spirit Pokemon.
Oh, are these
quite
yours?
convenient that I have a Dragonite and a Wooper plush. I'm a genius. So you will have seen Hypnosis Mist, which is wonderful. Hypnosis is only 60% accurate, but it also has the additional 25% to miss, like I was talking about some status moves have. So Hypnosis is only technically 45% accurate.
Is the accuracy modifier that the opponents have additive or multiplicative? Like, does Supersonic go 55 to 30 or like 55 to...
So actually, funnily enough, Supersonic doesn't have the additional drop. For confusion moves, it doesn't apply. So to answer, I think what you mean is like...
Poison Powder, I think, is baseline 75. I'm saying, does it go straight to 50?
No, it'd be
So it goes to, like,
it's 56.
57.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's the 75 times 75.
Yeah,
That's
multiplicative,
So on that route, the first guy was actually a rotator, but I paused because I was thinking, and I'm an idiot. The other two were spinners. So we've only actually hit one spinner, and it was on purpose, which is brilliant. Like I said, spinners is probably one of the biggest time sinks, other than me being an idiot and the very final fight of the game, basically.
I think I remember you saying there's like 30 spinners in this game.
Yeah.
In this run, not just in the game.
Yeah, in this run, we pass... Nice little bit of movement to dodge that guy. I think there's 18 spinners, and we have to pass... It's 32 total passes. There will be one spinner that we have absolutely no control over whatsoever, who we'll see later. But yeah, it's been pretty good spinner-wise so far. I did try and work it out once where, like, if you have average human reaction times and to only take safe passes... you still on average, will get hit twice. I do just want to say we kind of glossed over the Morty death briefly there. The reason I reset that is I didn't have enough healing. Well, I did, but I forgot I had hyper potion. The reason I said getting paralyzed on the ghastly was bad is I was dead to 2 curse damage. 2 ticks of curse, which does 25% of my HP. So if I'd been put to sleep by the Gengar, I was dead, basically. And he's favored to use Hypnosis turn 1. I should have just played it out, but I had a brain fart, so we move. This Noctowl can also use Hypnosis. It's got a random moveset. It's 1 in 4 to use Hypnosis. That's its only bad move, really. Flinch, beautiful. Headbutt's really clutch through this section of the game, unlike on Kimonos, just for those extra flinch chances.
Noctowl has a lot higher SPDF than its physical defense there, so the Surf, despite having a much higher base power and stab, wouldn't have came anywhere close to killing it.
See, he knows stuff.
Base 100 SPDF.
Oh, Togepi nickname, please, Lozzie. Sorry, I forgot to warn you.
Yeah, my brain stopped again.
It's Togepi.
The name for this lovely Togepi, and it's a very, very imaginative name. Egg.
Egg.
Egg. Space egg.
I love it.
It sure is.
It sure is.
It is definitely one of the eggs of all time.
Specifically, not an egg. Egg. Shout out Stern PC who donated $100 so that I would nickname the egg.
We love egg.
That's right, we love egg. I'm glad someone donated the money because I bought the hoodie just for the bit. It's not even a good bit, but we did it anyway. You know, money for charity. It's all good. We it's $100 for a brilliant charity, so it was worth it.
Exactly, and we can't disagree more. Saying that, I've made stuff for charity this year, and all of that's gone flying out the window.
Absolutely.
Did you get your Mew and Mewtwo?
Actually, yeah, I bought the Mew and Mewtwo and I haven't got it yet. So.
Oh.
On you go, Lozzie.
Wherever it's lying around, you can just cook up another one for me.
But wait.
I'm not making.
You don't have to get it.
No, come on. Let's go get them. Show them off on stream.
Oh, you could get that, but it's up to you.
I'm going.
Thank you, Lozzie.
Fun fact about this random little Marill here: it can actually, because we've got such awful stats in attack and special, it could have lived there. It was arranged to die in 2 hits. Coming up to another spinner here. Ernest. What I will say about spinners, one thing that I've sort of neglected to mention, is I've talked a bit about safe passes, and that means that. So I was passing this guy on the right. They have joined directions, so right is paired with down, which means if he's looking right, he's more likely to spin down than up or left. So when I'm passing him on the right, ideally I want him to be looking left and up when I walk past him. So that's kind of what I mean by safe, quote unquote. He can still hit me, but we'll use up these regular pots, which I should have used earlier. Hooray, look!
Oh, yeah.
Lozzie, the master crocheter.
Got some content. We made peak.
Look at these fantastic crochets that Lozzie made for charity so that people could give money to the wonderful Make-A-Wish Foundation.
It's too big to show that close to the screen. That close to the camera.
Beautiful.
Mewtwo sitting and Mew standing. It's very thrown me off. But they are lovely. They are cute.
Thank you so much, Lozzie.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for buying them off for the charity. I did enjoy making them. Again, this is one of those ones where I make them at work and people are just giving me questionable looks every time. And I'm like, doesn't concern you.
Yeah. Lozzie helps out charity on company time. I love that.
Double dip. Speaking of double dipping, when you donate, you can double dip. You can put your donation towards targets, you can put it towards polls, and if there's rewards available, like our Logitech merch,
We love merch.
Oh, shill, plug.
Money. Give money.
If you
We
got,
love money.
If you got some cash
Money.
sitting by, and you're looking to get some peripherals, Logitech has some gear available that you can donate on Tiltify and claim.
All right. So whilst we're shilling, you will have noticed we evolved. One of the clutch things about Feraligatr, the evolutionary line, is we were late to evolve to Croconaw, so we evolved late at level 18, but we evolved to our final evolutionary stage at level 30, which is wonderful timing. You will have noticed I got level 29 right before the rare candy that we picked it up. So traditionally, if you don't get the extra experience and you don't find any optionals, you only get level 29 there with about 100 experience to spare. So it's perfect timing to just... You get full value out of that rare candy and you evolve before the gym, which is clutch because the lead here is Hitmonlee, which kind of hits like a truck. You can fight this at level 29 as a Croconaw, but you basically can't afford to get crit or it's over. I do sometimes do that in PB attempts if I'm sort of struggling pace-wise. You can fight that as Croconaw and I'll save the candy for later at a more valuable time. But traditionally we just use it here. You'll have seen we don't actually have any downtime between these two fights. They can both see you. So we have to fight Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan back to back, which is another reason why it's kind of dangerous to do it as Croconaw. You do evolve in between the fights, but you're often at low HP after the Hitmonlee. Thunder Punch. This guy does not actually have Smart AI, so that's just random. No paralysis, which is good. Obviously, he has Fire Punch and Ice Punch. He also has Comet Punch. Fire Punch is pretty troll because it can burn, which can mean that we don't always two-shot because it lowers... being burned lowers our attack. And Ice Punch they're all 10% for a status, by the way. And Ice Punch can obviously freeze, which would be very bad. Chop is surprisingly physically bulky, so we use Surf to take out this. Another one of the reasons why Feraligatr is pretty good as a main versus Cyndaquil and Chikorita is we have pretty good bulk. Meganium's bulky, but it loses too much time in the early game and its moveset's pretty awful. But Totodile, like I've been saying, has a brilliant moveset, and it has just good enough stats. It's very physically... offensive, has very good bulk. Its special and speed are could be a bit better, but they're just good enough for us to just rip through the game.
Meganium has obviously notably better bulk than Feraligatr, but the typing makes it vulnerable to a lot more. Feraligatr, being in a season of grass and electric, it covers its own grass weakness with Ice Punch, and there's just not many electric types in this game.
Meganium has a horrendous moveset. I did
There's
think...
also no good grass moves for generations.
I did look at... I was like, oh, it'd be a fun thing to submit. People could choose what starter I used. And then I looked into how bad Chikorita is, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not... Especially Manipless. If you're running Chikorita, it has to be with RNG Manips, because you need good stats, and you need hidden power.
I was going to say, I'd expect non-minute Chikorita to be at least an extra hour. It must be something.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Right. Because it gets grass moves and normal moves, and that's it. Maybe Earthquake.
Earthquake, yeah, but you don't get Earthquake until before the Elite Four in this game, so it's
Is it in Tojo?
Is it what? Sorry.
Is it in Tojo Falls?
I think it's in Victory Road.
Oh dear. Ooh.
Chuck did save before Chuck. This is sort of the last fight. If someone's doing PB attempts, this is sort of the last fight where you could hype run it, so to speak. It's it's safe to ping people and be like, oh, this run's really good. Because this This run is potentially a bit of a run killer. This fight is a bit of a run killer, but... Alright. Where are my X-Stacks? They're up there. Primeape, I was about to say, is favored to use Leah on turn 1. Fury Swipes is actually fine because it does very little damage. Favored to get Leah. And now we one-shot. Need 2 X attacks. Even with perfect attack, both of his Pokemon are actually arranged to die with 1 X attack. And his ace is Poliwrath, which is crazy bulky. And unfortunately for us, his TM, like his gimmick, is he has Dynamic Punch. He used Mind Reader, it's a free fight. Alright. The only move we don't want to see really is Dynamic Punch. He also has Hypnosis, which is pretty bad. Dynamic Punch, his like key move, is it's only 50% accurate, but it hits like a truck, and it's guaranteed to confuse us. In asterisks. I say guaranteed. It's actually 1 in 256 to not confuse you, but it's basically guaranteed.
Of course it is.
Because, you know, Gen 1 and 2 is interesting. Lots
Gen 1 and 2 just work, we just stop questioning it. Why?
Fun fact, in Gen 1, every move has a 1 in 256 chance of missing. It's called the Gen 1 miss because they made the code wrong. But in Gen 2, there's no such thing as like a Gen 2 miss per se. It only applies to weird stuff like Dynamic Punch status.
I found out recently that in Gen 3, there's a 1 in 65,536 chance that Protect just fails turn 1.
Yeah, I love that. Alright, gonna talk to this guy.
Pokemon games, everybody. There is always one thing that doesn't work in each generation.
Coders and knowing the difference between greater than or equals to and greater than.
They did their best. They did their best. Probably. Maybe. Alright, so we just got Fly from Chuck's wife. Interesting bit of dialogue, by the way. She basically calls him fat and then gives us a HM for beating him, so that's nice. We love a supportive wife. Anyways. Now we've got Fly, the region is basically unlocked for us. And we can zip around. We're going to make a beeline here to unlock the eastern part of the region. Fun fact, after Morty, you can actually go either direction, so you can go east or west. That's kind of why there's the weird level curve in Gen 2 that everyone can't resist yapping about.
No.
That's because you can either come this way or the way that we went. It's faster to go that we went, obviously, that's why I did it. Nice bonk. I didn't want to hit that optional, so I was like, I'll just bonk into this. Hey look! A Gyarados! Nothing interesting about this Gyarados at all. Just a normal Gyarados.
That's pretty boring to me.
Yeah, it's a pretty boring Gyarados. So, we picked up a Pokédoll earlier. Oh my god! Oh, it's shiny!
Whoa,
oh, wow!
Whoa!
Yeah,
He's guys.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we're gonna catch it. Oh no! I used a Pokédoll.
It's purple.
I used a Pokédoll instead of the Pokéball. Please give money for the shiny. Anyways, so we got the Pokédoll because it guarantees that we can escape from any encounter. You can't just run away from the Gyarados. It won't let you. You either have to beat it in battle or we use the Pokédoll. It's a free shot range to die with good stats. So, and it's got Dragon Rage. So, you know, it could potentially just destroy us. Hence the Pokédoll. In glitchless runs, like in Gold, for example, they actually manipulate the lottery, win the Master Ball, and then just catch the Gyarados in the Master Ball so they can avoid the Pokédoll shenanigans completely. And in Crystal Glitchless, where they, fun fact, they use a Raikou as the main Pokemon, obviously they just one-shot the flipping Gyarados and it's not a problem. So, making 2 little detours here that I would not normally make. Taco found a rare candy. Well done, Taco.
Fun cool fact was the patch of water that we were in before we went to the Lake of Rage. Other speedrunners of other games use it to catch Magikarp to evolve into Gyarados, because you can get Magikarp up to level 50.
That's absolutely correct. In HDSS, Manipless, that's the main strat.
It's crazy. I've watched HypnoShark has run that one a couple of times, and I've watched a couple of other runners run it.
Where
It's absolutely insane because you're just kind of like
they spin in place for minutes on end, hoping for a level 50 Magikarp.
they become the Gen 2 spinners.
They do. That's right.
The reset point of that run is just whenever they give up, like rotating their thumb on their D-pad.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell when they're getting fed up or their thumb's tired because it's like
Reset time.
yeah. Thankfully, we do not have to do that.
I love watching them getting like gold splits because like their first time ever running it is like worst catch, and then second time round, oh my god, first time.
Yeah, I saved 5 minutes.
Okay. This is why I'm not accepting your level scaling argument. Maybe not this one specifically. There's like a level 16 Rattata in here.
Yeah, so
You have to have beat Chuck, who has like a level 30 Poliwrath.
yeah, so we beat Chuck, who is extremely dangerous. All of his gym, like there were level 27 Hitmonlees, all that sort of stuff. And then we come here and level 19, level 16. That we have to one-shot.
Oh, but they don't know if you're going to Jasmine or Bryce. Bro, you have a rat. Like you have a rat that's unevolved. It's a lower level than Feraligatr was when it evolved the first time before Bugsy.
The fun fact is that you're criticizing the Rattata is the Rattata is the only Pokemon here with a chance to cause us time loss.
I believe it.
Because it can use Quick Attack, and the others have nothing.
The thing that drives me mad about this is that they remastered the games and didn't change any of this.
Yeah, there have been ROM hacks that fix the level scaling where, like, when you beat a gym leader, it, like, scales the levels up of other trainers and stuff, which is a really cool concept. We do not have that here. The Rattata, it did not use Quick Attack. Brilliant. So now we're into the rocket section. This is a great time for you to, go get a hot drink, just settle in. Lozzie, if you want to just talk whenever, because the rocket section is endless. So
Talk? Me? Uh-oh.
yeah, no pressure, Lozzie. Talk now.
No.
And we one-shot basically 90% of the stuff in the rocket section, and most of the time loss, there's a few ranges that we'll have to deal with that I'll point out, but a lot of it's like, don't get quick attacked, don't make a mistake, that kind of stuff. Pretty simple.
If you got nothing to talk about, I can just spitball knowledge or answer questions.
No, that's all good.
Twitch chat, fire them at me.
We've had a couple of odd little bits here. JP is in the chat and said,
Oh, JP, my goat.
yeah, he called you out for double dipping on hosting whilst on comms. Get off my job. It's amazing to watch Pokemon speedruns, to be fair, because I could never do anything like this, because, again, I don't understand the math of Pokemon. I just go, oh, cute!
JP, can you help me draft my team for Draft League against my opponent that hasn't sent a message in the Discord in 3 weeks and has 0 replays of any of their matches that I don't think they've played? We're 3 weeks into a Draft League and my opponent just seems to be completely missing in action with no backup. Like, I pinged them to schedule my match whilst I'm at the event and they're just not.
JP says sure thing.
Yeah.
We love you, JP.
Love you, JP. I played the last round of the Draft League here on that computer. I played it on that computer wired into that big screen. It was a great time. Go watch the replay, JP. I made a baller play.
Yeah.
So
Pokemon is just one of those ones that I love.
You should enjoy it at the level at which you enjoy it at.
Yes.
Is an amazing thing about Pokemon. There's a lot of games like that. MMOs are very much like that. You should enjoy it at the level at which you enjoy it at.
Yeah. You can definitely go off the deep end with how in depth it can go.
I've got an current up-to-date living dex.
Ooh.
It's impressive.
That was a lot of home trades, Pokemon utilising Pokemon Home and like reloading sort of Pearl, Diamond, and stuff like that to kind of farm. Like, oh, look at this! I have a Suicune.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to trade me your thing for this? But also Pokemon Go has been my absolute saviour with that because you can get such low level like legendaries.
Yeah.
That they just are gone like that the moment you put them up for trades.
Nice.
But that I'm currently every now and then I go on Pokemon Home now just to flick just to see if I can get hold of like, oh look at that, I'm gonna trade you this for your shiny. Yeah, I'll take that shiny. I'll take that free shiny any day.
Here's something insane. Other than fully, obviously legitimate ones like the Gyarados that we saw earlier, I have probably like 1,500, 2,000 hours on cartridge. I have never seen a shiny.
Whoa.
Like, other than guaranteed ones, Gyarados specifically, I think, basically exclusively, I'm talking like I have 6 IV foreign Masuda method Dittos
Skill issue, Lozzie? No shinies?
that I've
Yeah.
Could be a skill.
read thousands of eggs for competitive, thousands of hours in game. Whatever the friend park was in Gen 6, it was like 1 in 512. Never.
That's like speedrunner look.
Yeah.
So my first ever shiny, and it still breaks my heart to this day because
It's
I
gonna
did-
explode.
Oh no, even worse. So my first ever shiny was a shiny Poochyena. Within
No.
3 minutes of a Pokemon Ruby
That's crazy.
playthrough.
Fun fact: my first ever shiny was also a Poochyena.
However, I didn't have a totally legit copy of Ruby. So when it popped up that I had a shiny, I caught it. Fine. Wonderful. Living my best life. Went to go and trade it to my friend. The trade froze halfway through. I turned the game back on and off for it to come up with the save file has corrupted. Therefore, the game has been deleted.
That's what you get for using bootleg copies. Here, we support Nintendo, and we're only using legitimate hardware and a legitimate cartridge. Please don't sue me. We know what you like. I swear to God, it's real. I swear, it's in.
There's a GameCube, there's a controller, there's a
Yeah, it's
Game Boy cartridge, that's an SP.
using an SP GameCube controller.
But it was like, you know, when you just feel that utter heartbreak of going.
That is brutal.
When you said Poochyena, did you think something different? The catching tutorial Poochyena.
Oh my god!
Not the catching tutorial.
Oh yeah, the one that you have to kill.
The choose your
Yeah.
starter Poochyena can be shiny,
I know.
and the catching tutorial route can be shiny.
Yeah,
Brutal.
but that was the first shiny, and then I didn't see a shiny again until about Legends Arceus,
Yeah.
and it
Right.
was but it was a Snom, not a Snom.
Is this not?
No, actually it wasn't Legends Arceus. It was
Sword Shield.
no, Scarlet Violet.
Oh, wow.
When did they buff the shiny rates? Because in the old games
Six.
it's 1 in 8,192 in these games.
Yeah. Gen 6 is 4096.
Right, fun thing on screen. I'm using the double candies that I picked up. I kind of made a critical route with the candies I kind of cooked. Pretty cool thing here as well. We're doubling this up with an escape rope. You would not normally escape rope there because you can't afford one. You would have to go back out after talking to the Murkrow and for the password, and you would have to pass that spinner again. So I doubled up the menu there with the rare candies and used an escape rope, which means that we don't have to pass the spinner again. We can just walk all the way back in. It looks like we're walking forever, but this only loses about 6 seconds versus walking back the traditional way. I think I first saw this strategy used by Wave Warrior in one of his old runs. So shout out him for giving me the inspiration for that. Ideally, if we're opening the bag, we want to combine as many things as possible. I looked quite a lot into the XP routing for where I wanted to use those candies, and after a lot of testing, I found using them both there gives us the most consistency through the mid game. Especially with awful stats, it's gonna really help with the next sort of hour of gameplay. There's an awful lot of ranges, and most of them are inconsequential. Like this one, for example, would be very unlikely to die. But there are a few ranges that are quite...
That'll always kill.
Sorry?
That'll always kill. You crit.
Yeah. I should probably say the reason why 34 to 36 is so impactful is as part of the damage calculation, it actually takes your level into account. So it's part of the multiplier is your level. So if your level ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8, because of the way the rounding works, it does more damage, essentially. So being level 35 does quite noticeably more damage than being level 34, even if you have the exact same stats. So using the candies there, you know, would have very likely killed the Arbok, even with awful special. Right, we'll talk about the plot, I guess. Why not? Lance here is investigating why all of the Gyarados were evolving early in Lake of Rage, and it's because Team Rocket are running the running this little hideout, forcing them to evolve early. And to turn the generator off, there's no on-off switch. They didn't think that far ahead. We have to faint these electrodes. These are our last chance to see shinies in the run. These can be shiny, 1 in 8,192. Never seen one of these shiny. These are ordinarily arranged to die. It's probably still arranged to die, actually. And another reason why I like the candies here is if you've got bad speed. Electrode is...
Base 140.
Yeah. The fastest Pokemon in the game, I think, Electrode.
Gen 2, yes.
So... At level... Normally, if you're level 34, I think on average, it's a speed tie. You have the same speed if you've got 4 DV speed. So they can be kind of cringe, and they have random AI, but they are 1 in 40 self-destruct, which does like nearly half your HP, I think.
Electro thankfully only has base 50 attack, and the self-destruct is non-stab, so... And they're 13 levels lower than you right now, so...
Yeah.
Shouldn't be lethal. It isn't lethal. Oh, wait.
Alright. Got all the rangers. Beautiful. So, now we've done that, Lance thanks us for our help. We actually killed them faster than he did, and he's got a Dragonite, so... We're just better than you. He gives us a HM for our troubles, the HM for Whirlpool, which, you know, we use once and then forget about.
So, following on from the shiny stories, we do have one from chat from Sir Sister Mara. Says, I have a story. I went for a shiny Castform because I was curious what its transformed ones looked like, since they weren't online. I finally got it after forever, but only to find out it didn't have any.
I think it does these days.
It does now because of Pokemon Home.
Yeah.
But
Imagine the pain though.
Grinding that.
Alright, I will interject. Beautiful. That is a spinner. So you will have seen I saved the game there. He's a spinner called Douglas at the top left. Ordinarily, you will see me walk like 1 tile away from a spinner and judge the safety of a pass. Because he's loaded off screen, we can't impact him whatsoever. So you just save and you go. Someone called Stringflow did simulations of that a long time ago, and it's basically 51%, just better than a coin flip to get past. And we have nothing better. Icy Wind miss. I think it's 95%. That's really good.
That is 95, 55,
Beautiful.
55.
Icy Wind is a bit of a troll move. It can lower our speed, and you can be speed tied or slower than Dugong here. Dugong is pretty scary. Ideally, we want to kill it in 2 hits. I do have bad attack. Another reason why the candies was good. Good crit. The reason you really want to kill Dugong in 2 hits is it can use rest. So if we hit it under 50% max HP, it's favored to use rest. And then, you know, giga time loss because it goes back to full HP and then lose 2 turns. That was a good fight. First time past Douglas. The most I've seen someone keep hitting Douglas over and over in Manipless is 11 times by El Revolver. Shout out El Revolver. The most I had was my old 318 PB. I hit him 5 times. There's not much you can do about it. In Glitchless, where they allow manips, you save, try and get past him once, and then if you hit him, you can hard reset and manip past him to guarantee that you get past. So we got a badge there from Price, which gives us 2 beautiful things. First being special badge boost, so it boosts the power of our special moves like Surf and Ice Punch by 12.5%. Notably, it does not boost special defense due to some weird glitch. It does in some scenarios, but in like 99% of scenarios, it does not boost your special defense because Pokemon. But it's fine. The main thing that we want it for is the special attack. The other thing that the badge gives us is, because he was the Ice-type gym leader, it gives us a 12.5% boost to our Ice-type moves, so Ice Punch just got a little bit stronger, which is beautiful. We were here before. You see I have to walk all the way back up. They hadn't thought of putting an elevator in here yet. We have to pass this spinner Ernest again. What's up, buddy? My pal Ernest. Love you, buddy. I don't love you. So we got the secret potion. The astute amongst you will have noticed that we picked it up in Cyan Wood. Jasmine won't fight you until you've gotten the secret potion. We heal the Ampharos, which is like the light that lights up the lighthouse, and now she's very happy, and she wanders off back to the gym. We escape rope out. Fastest to escape rope by quite a bit. You can get out like with the holes that you saw us fall through when we picked up the rare candy, and you just have to fall through hole after hole down every floor, which is really slow. Jasmine is a great example of they were really thinking outside the box with these new types. Steel was introduced in Gen 2, of course, so you'd think she'd have all the new Steel types. You know, my favourite Steel type, Skarmory. I was like, oh, Skarmory, surely. So she leads with Magnemite, which is Steel type in this game. Okay, Magnemite. Okay. I wonder what her second Pokemon will be. Oh, it's Magnemite again. Okay. Surely she's got a cool third Pokemon, right? Oh, it's a Steelix. It'd have been really funny if she had, like, just another Magnemite. Steelix, fun fact, even though we're super effective against it, with really bad special, you actually want to fight Price first for the special badge boost. Because even though we've got Stab, Surf, and it's super effective, it's not always guaranteed if you've got really bad special. And if you miss the range on Steelix, it's guaranteed to use Sunny Day, which would half the damage that I do with Surf. So you have to one-shot Steelix. It's non-negotiable.
Because it's going to heal.
Yeah, she uses Sunny Day and then heals to full. Correct. So
if you want to...
Sorry, go ahead.
If you want to end up really sober, watch a Generation 2 speedrun and take a drink every time a gym leader actually has a Gen 2 mod. And at the end of the night, you'll be like, I feel nothing.
Yeah. Whitney.
Miltank, Steelix,
Yeah.
Piloswine, Kingdra.
Kingdra.
That's not like just only half the leaders have it.
Yeah.
Only 4 Mons total.
It's criminal, just in general, how many introduced Pokemon we do not see during a speedrun. Because
Diesel, Hinder,
a lot of the cool Mons. I actually did all trainers in gold. And a lot of cool Pokemon only appear once that you fight against other people. And they'll just be some obscure trainer you would not normally fight on, you know, the boat after Elite Four and stuff like that.
Where can you catch Wild Houndour in Generation 2?
Is it Route 7 in Kanto?
I'm not sure the exact route number, but it's east of Saffron. The Metropolis one.
That's Route 8, so I was one off.
I might not be getting it right with the big city.
Celadon.
Celadon, thank you. I knew I was getting it wrong. East of Celadon.
That is Route 7.
Yeah, Route 7.
So
That's the only place you can find Houndour. Gen 2 introduced to Pokemon, and it's like a low encounter rate in a
Do you
kind of post-game Kanto.
Do you know where you can get Slugma?
Pardon? Slowpoke?
Slugma.
Oh,
That's not a setup for a joke, by the way. I'm just asking the question.
good, because I had like 4 kicking.
Please don't.
None of them stream safe.
No.
None of them stream safe.
No. Cancels, man. Get them off.
Yes, I do. Not Mount Silver, otherwise you would have said Sneasel. Yes, Mount Silver?
It's on Cycling Road in Kanto.
Nice.
It's like, yes, there's like 10 patches of grass on Cycling Road, and they were like, yeah, we'll just put Slugma there. Yeah, that's where Slugma
You
would
can
live.
very easily gaslight people into thinking that Slugma, Macargo, and Skarmory are Gen 3 Pokemon.
I legitimately thought Slugma was Gen 3, because I had Ruby when it came out, and I played a lot of Gen 3. Did not know about Slugma. Although Magcargo, spoilers, we do see a Magcargo in this run, but easily forgettable.
I forget that Skarmory is a
Gen
second
2.
every time.
We don't see a Skarmory in this run, unfortunately.
I have saved in my gallery somewhere photoshopped images of like a Bulbapedia-esque format that show the Gen 2 gym leaders teams, but I just replaced all of the Gen 2 Mons in them with Gen 1 Mons. Like, it says that Whitney has a Clefairy and a Clefable.
That would still be as equally devastating, even with rollout.
Yeah. So it says that like Whitney has a Clefairy and a Clefable, and it does that the whole way down, including the E4. And people are like, they look at it and they're like, I can't put my finger on it, and then they go, no. Whitney definitely had a Clefable, and I'm like, classic example of the Mandela effect in play. This is a Heart Gold Soul Silver only thing. If you really, really commit to the bit, and you have the photo evidence on hand, you can watch people's brains just fucking explode when they're like, you're telling me 16 gym leaders and 4 Elite Four members and not a single one had a Gen 2 Mon?
Yeah. Oh, nice crit, by the way. Yeah, that's like some 4chan forum channel thing that you'd see. Like someone photoshopped something and it's like, oh, well, it must be true.
You can fool people quite easily if you just say it confidently.
That's right. Kind of like me in this run. Nothing I've said is true. I'm just making it all up as I go along.
Shout out to the magazine that convinced quite a lot of people that you can evolve Dragonite into Yoshi.
I did a 4 AM intermission segment the other night on the current happenings of the stock market. And people were like, is he kidding? Is he making this up? And I was like, no. You can just say it confidently and it's true. That one was actually true, to be fair.
Right, so little niche thing. I swapped Bite to slot 1 there. Very important. Ideally, you want the move in slot 1 that you're going to use the most. Using a lot of Bite. So just going to save inputs overall just by swapping it to slot 1 there. That was a lot more interesting in my head before I said it, but there you go. You'll notice as well, we never sort of walk in front of trainers. The reason for that is if you walk in front of a trainer, there's like a dialogue box that pops above their head with an exclamation mark, and they're like, I caught you! But that's really slow. It loses like a second every time that happens. So it's actually faster to talk to them. Even in some cases on the floor below, you'll have noticed I went about 8 steps out of my way to talk to him from the side and then walk up. And that's because it's still faster to go 8 tiles out of our way to talk to them from the side. That's like a common mistake that I see new players make. Is like they'll fight the right trainers, but that kind of thing in a run like this where it's 3 hours long, time loss stacks like crazy like that.
Do you know how many individual trainer fights there are, roughly?
No.
This ain't Gen 3 where there's like... it's just dodge every single trainer in the game.
Yeah. I can't
Barely
remember.
any mandatory.
I can remember all trainers, but I can't remember how many you actually fight in this.
Give me all trainers number, that's interesting.
Gold all trainers was 363, I think.
Jeez.
Oh,
Kanto, right.
But it's probably 150, maybe? Oh, a goose!
There is a goose.
My favourite Pokemon. Tri-Attack's the worst move it could use. That's fine. Tri-Attack's 30% to inflict a status. It can do paralysis, burn, or freeze. Its other moves are Conversion and Conversion 2, which are completely inconsequential. So we did get the worst move.
Chat, if you love Goose, please do spam Goose.
You love Goose.
Everyone, tell Goose what your favourite Pokemon is in chat. Actually, what's Goose's favourite Pokemon? Please be Gen 1 to
Swanna.
Fremon or I won't know. Swanna. That's a good check.
I was about to say, I was going to say Ducklet.
Swananda, thank you.
Thankfully, I do know what that Pokemon is. Like I say, once it gets past, like, even some Gen 5 months, I'm like, don't know. This guy has a thrilling team of 5 coughings and a wheezing. Is one of the executives.
Oh, it's me, I'm wheezing.
Everyone at the event is coughing.
Brilliant.
Speaking of... it wasn't a bit, I wish it was.
Yeah,
So-
sadly, a lot of us are sick here and we are all just down with it.
Yeah, anybody that's looked at the schedule at 2 separate instances in time will have realised.
Yeah. Like, every day is like, someone's like, where did X run go? It's like, oh, well, they're in their room dying
One?
plague.
One's the singular?
Am I downplaying your scheduling abilities?
I woke up on Wednesday to 7 different people. They're like, hi, I can't do my run.
Hey, I survived.
yeah, that's real.
Lozzie was a trooper, that's right.
Yeah.
I opened stream for Lozzie doing a Corgi's Cozy hike, and she was like, ah! And I was like, the true dedication of a speedrunner, by the way. That's what people go through to raise money for charity. Speaking of charity, please donate money to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, because it would be really cool, and Starata would blow you a kiss. Apparently.
I might do that regardless, to be honest.
Oof. You can't turn that down, chat. Also, he did invite people to ask him random questions in chat, because he says himself that he's like an encyclopedia of Pokemon knowledge. So please bombard him with the hardest questions you can possibly imagine.
Lozzie,
Put your phone away.
Is Stream 2 live right now?
It says we are in a shared chat at the moment.
Tab in and show donations that got sent to Stream 2. Because I saw that number move, but Stream 2 is not live. Like, on Collect, just set the tag so that you also see Stream 2 donations. I saw that number move.
Yeah.
I mean, it might just be like
It was a
something
ghost.
snoozing something for later for FF9, but I'm like, dude,
Yes.
stream's not live for 2.25 hours. I didn't hear a coin and that number moved.
Yeah, no, it's stuff in.
Is it for 9?
It's for 9.
Okay. Somebody's getting their stuff in early. Somebody's 2.5 hours preemptive to stream starting, being like, FF9 can't wait.
Hey,
Fair
you want
play.
to do it if you want to do
Fair
it.
play.
Alright, just concentrate so I do buy the right things. Would be good if we bought the right stuff. and then I'll
So
explain.
apparently, Goose's favourite Pokemon is the set of keys Pokemon.
Klefki.
Klefki.
How does that work? According to who?
Champ of the Couch. However, that might be an Untitled Goose Game reference.
Ah,
That makes sense.
that's a good one.
Right. So
I've just got like,
sorry, Lizzie, go
I
ahead.
don't have any kind of like Pokemon questions, but all I have is just really weird, like odd knowledge.
And you go line?
We love odd knowledge.
Anyway,
Right, a few things before we get into the next fight, which is Rival 4. I bought Return, which is going to be one of the most OP moves that we teach. We teach it in about 10 minutes, so I'll explain more of the nuance about it then. I bought some Calciums, which boost our special attack quite significantly, and I used the Ether that I picked up on Surf. There's a very long section of the game. We have to fight a lot of Pokemon, so we're just short of enough PP to get through. Got Serpent special here. 50-50 to use Confuse Ray or Wing Attack. Wing Attack obviously would have been preferable because I have to heal off the confusion, but no big deal. Guaranteed to use Wing Attack on the next turn. The reason I had set up the X special there is Golbat is actually a range to die. On this route, I think if I had 9 special, I would have gone for the 97% range, excuse me. Meganium is also a range.
Which special are we saying we have?
I gave up checking. It's between 1 and 4.
Yeah, fair play.
So on a range of 0 to 15, we have 1 to 4. I think we've got... Let me think about it. We've got 2 to 4 attack. So, again, range of 0 to 15. Our stats are 2 to 4 attack, 1 to 4 special. We've got bad defense, so 0 to 5 defense. We had between 5 and 10 speed. So our best stat is speed, which could be anywhere from 5 to 7. I don't need to know any more detail than that.
Yeah.
Obviously, in runs for like PB and World Record attempts, I use a program on PC, which I can work out my exact stats. Working out your exact stats is not super necessary, but it helps with like more nuanced decision making of like, do I go for this range, which is slightly worse with 12 versus 13 special? Like, kind of.
Sometimes, like if you have 1 extra DV, then at one specific level, that's the point at which you get that one stat. And then that one stat on a specific roll hits a rounding break point. You do like multiple extra points of damage on the low end.
Yeah.
And it changes the roll from a 1 in 16 to a 10 in 16 or something absurd.
So, fun fact, I should probably talk about damage rolls, because we're kind of talking about rolls and ranges, right? There's actually a range coming up right here on this muck, funnily enough. So when I say something is a range, you will probably be aware that moves don't do fixed damage. And what we call a max roll is the maximum amount of damage it can do, and a min roll is 85% of the max roll. So if a move, for example, did 100 damage as a max roll, the min roll would be 85, and it can do anywhere between 85 and 100. At lower levels, let's say you're in the first gym against Spearow and it does 5 to 7, for example. So more commonly you will see 6 damage because that's the most common damage roll. But technically it can do 5 or 7. In Gen 1 and 2, the damage rolls are actually 1 in 39. They updated this in Gen 3 to be 1 in 16. So there's a random roll that the game does between 1 and 39. And it just chooses that. So between 85 and 100, it'll split that 85 to 100 up into 39 segments. And then it'll choose the damage that it aligns with that. Cheers, mate. Coming in clutch, making sure my iPad doesn't go to sleep
Green
yet.
went dark, bro. You got no.
So, this Muck's a really bad range. Pretty bulky, has pretty good SPDF. So, from the roll, there you go, we work out like a rough percentage. So that with this bad special, but I'm one higher level because of my candy route and the 3x calciums. I'd say that was about 4 or maybe 5x percent of it. So, fun Switch puzzle. As a kid, I did never figure this out properly. I spent years of my life trying to figure this out. But did you know that the puzzle is simple as 3, 2, 1? Yes, we solved it. I'm a genius. We need that to open the barriers to traverse our way through the room. It's as simple as that. Again, little niche stuff. Growlithe's a fire type. I'm going to use strength because it's neutral damage. If I use surf there, it would give us a super effective text box. I use strength because it's neutral, so we don't get any text box at all. Little stuff like that adds up when we're killing literally hundreds of things through the course of this run, and it loses 45 frames for a super effective text box. It runs at 60 FPS, so 3/4 of a second. You might remember as well earlier I talked about why Bite is such a good move for this run, because it has high PP and it's a neutral move. And the reason for that is Coughing has pretty low SPDF. And fun fact, Coughing is the most common Pokemon we kill in this run. I've asked people this before, and they're like, oh, it's got to be Rattata, right? Oh, Rockets have Rattata. No, it's Coughing. We see millions of Coughing. I think 19 in the run. So Bite is perfect for them. Neutral damage, they have low SPDF. Goodbye.
I have also seen millions of coughing this week.
We hate Coughing. ESA Winter hates Coughing.
You fucking do, man.
I'm finishing them off. They'll be gone for good. There's a few more left. We've got to cull the rest of them. Chat, I've just told you that Coughing is the most common thing that we kill. Please have a guess what the second and third most common things are that we kill in this run. We've already seen plenty of them. Let's see if you can know. We'll give chat 10 seconds to guess, and then
I'll guess, and then you answer.
Yeah. I can't actually remember the third one, but I've got it written down. I can remember the second one. Again, Strength Gloom, neutral damage. Gloom's like pretty physically bulky, but thankfully Strength still kills. Don't have to Lines Punch it. The PP routing is actually extremely tight through these sections. Yes, I just said PP and tight. Please behave yourselves. It means nothing. The Ether that I picked up, we would not normally get in PB attempts at a high level because the routing of when I did the Mart would be slightly different. And use the Pokemon Center. So it's even tighter in PB attempts, where often we go from Lance in the hideout all the way to where I use the Pokemon Center, and then we don't heal again until after Claire. So we have to go through a heck of a lot of Pokemon to get there. So normally you leave Claire in Crystal with like 4 or 5 moves left, like in your entire moveset.
Common Pokemon guesses in.
I can't read chat. I don't have chat.
Neither can I. Lozzie is AFK. Lozzie's
our chat.
Despawn.
Our chat readers.
Chat oh, we have a replacement. Dompa.
ESA staff coming in clutcher.
May I lock in the bat and the rat?
So for the second and most common, they're guessing Zubat, Caterpie, Gloom, Ghastly.
Zubat's a good guess. Ghastly is a surprisingly good guess, actually. You wouldn't think so, but Ghastly is actually a surprisingly good guess. So the second most common is Magnemite. because of the rocket section again, because there are so many scientists who, for some reason, scientists sorry, I forgot where I was going there. So for some reason, the scientists work with the rockets, and there are lots of trainers who just have free Magnemites. Fun fact about Magnemite, actually, because it's so common. The only move we really have for them is Surf, because they resist Dark in Gen 2. I think they fixed that in later generations. But
5.
It resists Dark, it resists Ice, and it resists Normal, which is the 3 other types we have. So we always have to use Surf on those Magnemites. The third most common, I will scroll for, because I can't remember. I think it might be just Rasta. What is it? Oh, the third most common, whoever guessed Ghastly, you were right.
That's
9 Ghastlies.
There's more than 9 rats and bats, surely.
Nope.
That's crazy. Big fan of this part of the notes.
Yeah, the bottom of my commentary notes, it just says, got bored, wing it. Because I couldn't be bothered writing any more things down. And to be honest, I've not even read it. I've just winged it anyway.
Yeah.
So why did we bother? You know, I thought it'd be good to have. Oh, Curse is on Return. So we're going to teach Return. Return is a wonderful move that gets more powerful the more happy our Pokemon is. And thankfully, Feraligatr loves me because I'm a brilliant trainer. It maxes out at 102 power, so the way the power is worked out is it takes your happiness, which goes from 0 to 255, and divides it by 2.5. So 255 divided by 2.5 is 102 max. Our happiness right now it's like 85 power or something like that. And the happiness increases in many ways. Firstly is just walking every 256 steps. There's a happiness improvement. So obviously we've gone a long way.
There should be a coin flip for it.
No, in Gen 2 it's just every time. In later gens it's like Star says. There's an RNG check for whether it improves happiness. In Gen 2 it always improves happiness, which is good for us because it makes it more consistent for working out like return power. So steps, level ups, using them on important fights like gym leaders, using X items boosts it, using calciums or proteins like vitamins. All those things boost our happiness. So I'm a bit happier than I would normally be in speedruns for a high level because I've used calciums and I've used a couple of extra safety X items along the way.
It was discovered in Gen 3 that the RNG check on like a 256 step cycle to see if happiness is going to increment on all of your Pokemon causes lag, which means that to do, and this is a thing in Gen 3, Gen 3 has a timer for cycling road. Like built in, you can talk to an NPC and see it took you this long and you bonked this many times. To do the optimal cycling road, to get the optimal cycling road time, you need to have as minimal, like you should really only have 1 Pokemon in your party. So if you have 6 Pokemon in your party, checking the RNG on
because it checks the happiness individually
on the 256 causes a lag frame.
That's so stupid.
So you lose time on cycling road by having more mons in your party because it's checking to see if it's going to up their happiness and it lags out.
That's brilliant. There is actually a thing in Gen 3 as well. They do, in Sapphire specifically, they do an RNG manipulation to catch a Wingull in the early game. And the step count has to be very precise because if it rolls to the 256 during the manip, it rolls the happiness roll. And it can break the manip because it changes the RNG values during the manip. Pretty stupid.
And somebody, like, messing up their step routing...
It changes the manip, yeah.
Yes, it changes the manip, but somebody didn't know that
the notorious,
messed up their step routing, and it, like, was one of the pieces of evidence that proved that they were splicing their runs together.
Yeah, shout out Jadiwi who cheated.
Yeah. No, not shout-outs.
No, we want everyone to boo them. Just kidding, don't harass
Boo.
people who cheat. Boo. Anyways, this is Gen 2 and we are not cheating. Houndour, a Gen 2 Pokemon. Hooray! It's dead. That's the only one that we see in the run. It's gone.
We do see Houndoom, I believe, I hope, I think.
Another Koffing, can you believe it?
Ganon doesn't have Houndoom. Is that Heart Gold Soul Silver on there?
We see a Houndoom.
Okay.
Fun fact, with good attack here at level 45 specifically. Yep,
Hi. How you doing,
you
boy?
can return this to save the super effective text box. However, I have horrendous attack, so I'm not going to go for that range. And the coolest Gen 2 Pokemon's gone. We went through all of that rocket section just to see those, and we one-shot all of them. Brilliant. So, we spent half an hour kicking Team Rocket's butt, which unlocks the next section of the game. I think you can't fight Claire until you've beaten all the rocket sections. She's not like in a gym, so you have to clear them all out. So we might as well grind through all of this and get all the XP. This guy gives us the Rainbow Wing. This is the real director, not the fake director, who was an imposter. Alright, gonna get two very important items. Firstly is the pink bow, which is conveniently here with this NPC. What the pink bow does, it's a holdable item. Like I said earlier, Gen 2 introduced the holdable items. It boosts our normal attacks by 10%. And crucially, the move that we taught earlier, Return, is a normal type move. Very clutch.
It's a bunch of held items that they introduced in Gen 2 that they reintroduced in Gen 3 with entirely different names. They renamed all of the berries, they renamed the pink bow to the silk scarf.
Pause that. I just want to do the quiz with chat. Let's take the quiz, chat. Question 1. Is there a Pokemon that appears only in the morning? Yes. Question 2. Is this statement correct?
No.
You can't buy a berry at a mart. Yes. I need to check my notes because while I'm talking, I'm forgetting the answers. Does HM1 contain the move Flash?
No.
No. So far, so good. Is Faulkner the gym leader of Violet City uses bird Pokemon? It's like you've not been watching. Here's the final question. Do Goldenrod Game Corner slots have Charmander on them?
No.
No, correct. We've not been there, so you wouldn't know that. But Lozzie's just a genius like that.
We go gambling.
All right, between us, we figured that out.
Genius is a strong word for somebody who just memorizes that quiz answers.
That's what I do. My notes just say 6A, 2A, 2A, 1B, 2A, 3B, because I just do the text boxes. I don't even look at the questions, I just memorize the text box. Right, that guy's a rotator. Fun fact for that rotator, to dodge him, you have to pause for exactly 1 frame. Alright, Ice Path. I will kind of need some quiet time through Ice Path. The movement is surprisingly hard. Not through the first section. There's a boulder puzzle coming up that to do perfectly is surprisingly hard. And if you mess it up, it loses quite a lot of time. And I'm not the best at it anyway. So this first puzzle is pretty boring. They put a very key item here, HM7 Waterfall, out of the way. It's not intuitive to actually come and pick this up, but you need it to continue the story. So as a kid, I'd imagine a lot of people forgot to pick that up. Going to YOLO a tile here after the repel wears out, because it's optimal. Going to set the repel up in this new room. In the same menu, we're going to use Strength. Saves about a second there to use Strength out of the menu, rather than talking to the boulder. Oh, so close to being good. That was like 90% good. So the reason the boulders are hard is you can actually move after you've pushed the boulder in the initial direction. As the boulder is moving, you can move. So, as you might have been able to see, I was like moving up and around the boulder whilst it was still moving. If you watch I would encourage people to look up the TAS actually for Crystal. and it literally spins around doing turn frames as a meme because it has time while it waits for the boulder to move. It's pretty incredible. That was a decent boulder though. I had horror nightmares about how that could have gone. All right.
You guys want to see some real boulder problems? Catch us at Clutter Centre after the run. On site only. See Benny in the room? Nah, I saw him earlier. Rip.
So, equip the pink bow. Oh, I'm teaching Whirlpool twice, that's good. Going to teach 2 HMs. It's just convenient to teach them in this menu at the same time. To our Poliwag, trusty Poliwag. Level 4 Poliwag is pretty clutch because it only has 1 move, so we can teach the 2 HMs instantly. Whereas if you catch a Poliwag later on, it's always at least level 15. Level 15 to level 17 Poliwags have 3 moves, and then after that they have 4. And it loses about 8 seconds if you have to teach over a move, so early Poliwag saves like 16 seconds. Very interesting section. We use the same move over and over again. Dratini is pretty weak, so we can use Return. No super effective text box. We don't have to bother using Ice Punch. I do have in my notes to check my stats at level 46 to know the optimal moves to use on Claire, what strat I'm going to do. However, both my attack and special are horrendous, so I know exactly why. There's no point checking. I know what I have to do anyway.
Speaking of Poliwag, Poliwag's one of the weird evolutionary lines where at part of its evolutionary line, one of its stats goes down.
Interesting, I didn't know.
Poliwhirl has a base speed of 95, bro. Poliwrath and Politoed are like 70.
Of course, Poliwrath, it'll go down. Yeah, that's
and
right.
Politoed. Both branching
Poliwrath,
paths.
I suppose it, yeah. It just goes all into like bulk and attack.
Yeah. But Poliwhirl's like weirdly swift.
Alright, fun fact with this Seadra. This is a female cool trainer. That's really cringe. Double smoke screen. I will exact now. So, female cool trainers. She's more likely to use a status move on turn 1, 75%. She's got Leer and Smokescreen. After 1 accuracy drop, I think the way accuracy drops are in this game, it's 75%, 60%, 50%, 40%. Oh, after that. So it's worth YOLOing the first one to try and hit through the 75% accuracy check. Once you hit me with the second one, return power points are like reasonably important. So the trainer AI is pretty interesting in this game. I previously talked about, like the twins only don't have any AI at all, and generally a lot of the female trainers, their Pokemon tend to have worse attack DVs and better defense DVs, so they tend to be bulkier Pokemon, and they're more likely to use status moves. Whereas this is a male cool trainer, and he is more likely to just go offense, so he also has a Seadra, but it's very likely that we just see Twister here. Again, thrilling team. Seadra, Horsies, you know. Another gym where they didn't really have much to introduce because they only introduced 1 new dragon type in Gen 2. And obviously they had to give it to the gym leader, so these people are just... I guess Horsey and Seadra were a bit of a clue for what like the new Pokemon could have been. Again, just return this Dratini. Do have to Ice Punch this Dragonair. It is actually a range with good attack to die, but it's just never worth going for. Dragonairs have pretty cringe movesets, actually. She's pretty likely to use Thunder Wave if you don't kill it. Right, now time for Claire. I will save for this fight, and I'll actually just heal again. It's, like, not a huge deal.
There's very few fights in the franchise that have a Kingdra where the Kingdra isn't incredibly annoying.
Save is, like, not super necessary. Obviously, in PB attempts, you would never save for any of these fights. When you've got good special attack, no need for any setup whatsoever. The Dragonairs, excuse me, are pretty bulky, even though we have a super effective move. I think the worst range that you have in like world record attempts is 92.3%. However, because our special attack is so bad, even with the calciums, it is not worth going for the range, and I will do an alt strat, which is pretty cool, where I X-attack here. Favoured to use Thunder Wave on turn 1, like I say. We'll heal the paralysis. Pretty likely to use Dragon Breath here, which can also paralyze us. Please don't do that. Wonderful. We'll just return these, and we save some of the time back because there's no super effective text boxes.
Range should be 93.7.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the range is 36 out of 39. There's no in between in that, because the way the damage rolls work is it like it jumps from like, you know, 30 out of 39 to 36 out of 39, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, go ahead.
What is damage roll? What's happening in Gen 2 damage rolls that there's 39?
I did explain earlier, you weren't listening. Can you believe it, chat? He wasn't listening to my very detailed explanation. I
can believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
In Gen 3 onwards, damage rolls are 1 in 16.
Yeah.
But in Gen 1 and 2, the damage rolls are actually 1 to 39. So, like I said, the range is 85 to 100% basically, and it's split into 39 integers along the way.
Okay, no, I take it back. Your number's more accurate. 3.3 it was.
Use Strength there. Normally you would... that was easy. Normally you would return there without the X-Attack. The Kingdra is actually arranged to die in 2 hits to return, so another good reason for using the X-Attack. I use Strength there because if I had used Return on turn 1, she would have very likely been under 25% HP. Boss fights, so like some of the later gym leaders and E4 fights and Red, for example, do have healing items. They will only use healing items on their strongest Pokemon, the highest level Pokemon. So when she is under 50% of her max HP, she is 20% to use a Hyper Potion. And when she's under 25% of max HP, it's a coin flip as to whether she heals or not. So better to use Strength there, just increases our odds of her not healing. The Kingdra also has Smokescreen as well, which so it can be a little bit troll if she like uses Smokescreen and then heals, for example. Can potentially get a bit messy. Alright, Dragon's Den. They made it a bit more interesting in Crystal. In Gold, there's no Dragon Shrine. You just have to go through here and pick up the Dragon Fang. And the astute amongst you will have noticed Claire did not give us the gym badge because she's just rude like that. So she makes us come in here and prove our worth. There is another quiz coming up, so we could do the quiz questions. Oh, good to see you here. Claire sent you, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I need to test you, not to worry. I have a few questions ready. What are the Pokemon to you? Pal. Oh, I understand. What helps you to win battles? Strategy, raising, cheating. Strategy. What kind of trainer do you wish to battle? Weak, tough, anybody? Tough. Oh, I understand. What is most important for raising Pokemon? Love, violence, knowledge. Unfortunately, it's not violence. Oh, I understand. A strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. Which is most important? Tough, both, weak.
Weak.
Both. Lozzie, you are not worthy. You do not get the gym badge. You cannot progress. I am sorry.
Need to get you running quizzes instead of Smacklosa.
That's
this is like infinitely better, right?
It's surprisingly hard when I'm having to think about actually using pressing the right button.
You don't know the answers, you just know the inputs.
Yeah. Like in my notes just say 1 1 2 1 2. Like who needs to know the questions?
I don't want Claire's stinky badge anyway.
I would note that whilst we were in the middle of that ramble, I think we used Whirlpool for the only time that we're going to use it.
That's right. Yeah.
3.5 hours.
We have to catch Poliwag for 2 things, and it just does it. Uses Whirlpool, uses Waterfall.
One time each. One in Dragon's Den, once in Tojo's.
That's right.
Once in Tojo's.
Which we are heading to right now. So of course that's Johto over with. We've got 8 badges. We can now head to the Elite Four. Claire never shuts up.
Well, it's all about Claire. Did you not know?
That's true. She has made it all about her, to be fair.
Remind me to always be that salty whenever something good doesn't go my way.
Right, another mandatory phone call here. Prof calls us like 5 times during the run to tell us things, and we just ignore him every time. That's him telling us to go to the lab. I think if you go and talk to him now, he gives you the Master Ball. We just ignore him completely, and we're gonna head to Johto. To Kanto, rather. I love getting the regions wrong. I've played this game before, I swear. So this guy tells you that you've unlocked a new region.
Oh.
This animation's great, by the way.
Hell
I love that. Yeah. And that's it. That's the only waterfall.
Thank you, Poliwag.
Right, some interesting biking here. I deliberately take extra steps on the bike there. You'll see why in a second. Alright. Try and be optimal here. Bike to the last possible tile there. If I went 1 tile further over, the trainer could see me. Want to bike as many tiles as possible, because biking is 8 frames per tile, but surfing and walking are 16 frames, so every tile that I can bike saves 8 frames. Can't avoid that guy, so it's quickest to just surf those 2 tiles and then get back on the bike. And you might remember I've got no power points left, so we talk to this girl, and she just heals our Pokemon really quickly. Much quicker than using the Pokemon Center. And now we've got another spinner. My favourite. So, you saw the repel wore off on the exact tile before she could have seen me. So I took those extra steps deliberately to set up the repel buffer, so the repel wore off text box appears right in front of her. And the idea being I can judge based on which direction she spins to whether I like the spin or not, and whether I think it's safe to go. If she'd spun right or down, for example, I would have just cleared the text box and waited for a better pass. That was a very clean spinner pass, though. Very happy with that. Funnily enough, in Gold, Victory Road, you actually have to fight, I think, 3 extra mandatory trainers, maybe even 4, actually, compared to Crystal. In Crystal, they made them all mandatory, and you just bike around them, except for Beth there. So it does mean in Crystal, we are about 1.5 levels under-leveled compared to Gold for the Elite Four. Very thrilling Victory Road here. You know, in Gen 1, they had like lots of boulder puzzles. In Gen 3, it's like pitch black. In Hoenn, anyway. And that's it in Gen 2. Yeah. Brilliant. No trainers.
So that was really, really tough. I don't know how you managed that.
Yeah. There was a few bits where when you've gone through a ladder, you want to keep biking in the same direction. So you risk bonking into the wall, because if you go in the same direction, it saves 8 frames versus the turn frame. So, you know, if you do it properly, it saves 16 frames or something. Very tough stuff.
I just can't believe that you managed to do that all in like one bit there. I'm just stunned.
It's remarkable.
It is. It's impressive scenes.
Unbelievable scenes.
Sneasel, new Pokemon introduced in Generation 2 that is only capturable after you've done all of Johto and then all of Kanto and then the Pokemon League a second time. And then go to the post-game secret area to fight the secret end boss. You might, on your way, run into a Sneasel to be able to catch it so that you can have a 400 base stat total dual stab special attacker with
Yeah.
35 base special attack.
I do like Sneasel. Obviously, I think it's evolutionary. Came out in Gen 4, Weavile.
Yes.
So this fight's pretty free. We set up the X special on Sneasel. Sneasel only uses Fury Cutter or Screech, so it's a free setup. We one-shot everything. The Meganium, excuse me, is a range. I actually missed that range in my PB, and it cost me a world record. Fun fact. In this route, because I did the extra candy route and the calciums, we were level 48, so we have a significantly better range with 48 versus 47 as the level. Like I said, because if your level ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8, you get like a rounding advantage for the damage calculation. So the Meganium was actually very favoured to die there, even though we've got horrendous special attack. Right, we head to the E4. E4 is pretty interesting. I've made a pretty cool route, I think, for this marathon. That's very different to PB attempts. Interesting bit of biking here. You bike one tile to the right there, because it's fast. You save 8 frames, because you have to walk or bike that tile anyway, inside or outside. Why am I selling? Get some Forestars. I like how I explained how I saved 8 frames, but because I was talking, I made a mistake and lost more than 8 frames. I love doing that. Right, so we bought some full restores. You still do that in PB attempts. Healing items, you technically have enough to get to the end, but the final fight of the run can be a bit of a deal breaker. Bought a couple of revives extra just to see us through. Basically Elite 4 in case I get unlucky with crits and spec drops. Will here, his Xatu is 50-50 to use Confuse Ray or Psychic. Psychic is faster, obviously. Wonderful. The theme generally of the Elite Four is, you know, we set up an X item on turn 1 to boost our stats. So in this case, an X special boosts our special attack, and then we try and sweep their team. Nothing really super interesting on Will other than the Xatu 50-50. And his 4th Pokemon is a very bulky Slowbro. In Gold, you would normally be level 50 here for the Slowbro. And it becomes a range to die in 2 hits.
Is it bad?
Sorry, go ahead, Lozzie.
Is it bad that every time I still see Executor, my brain jumps to why is it not stupidly tall? Thank you, Alola.
It kind of looks like it should be tall anyway, but some sprites make it look a bit stumpy. I don't know.
I'm fairly sure Executor is exactly 5'11", so people can get into arguments about whether or not that's tall. Not touching.
So you could
that
say
one.
he's basically 6'2" then. Might as well, you know.
Says
Executor's 6'1" on Tinder.
Just don't measure it.
Start it. No, never mind.
Star, not now. This is Slugma all over
I'm
again.
on stream, man. I'm on stream.
Right, be well. I'll peep the time here. 2:41.
Like a rabid dog ready to make the joke.
So, like I said, the Slowbro was not going to die in 2 hits unless we crit. Favoured to use Amnesia turn 1. It can also use Curse and Psychic, which we saw. Curse is an interesting move. When the Ghost type Pokemon use it, it has a different effect. If Slowbro used it, I think it lowers its speed but boosts its attack
and defense.
Yeah. There you go. That's what he's here for. The crucial knowledge.
You want other weird, insane arcane curse spell knowledge?
Go ahead.
If you are in Gen 9 and are pressing Terra Ghost the turn that you press Curse, or if you have been skill swapped Protein or Libero, when you press Curse, you are not, like when you physically push the I am selecting Curse, you are not a Ghost type yet.
Right.
And so your Curse targets yourself for the stat boost version. But then you change to Ghost type, be it via Terra or via Protein or Libero, and then the curse move actually is used by the Pokemon, at which point it is a Ghost type, but it has targeted itself. So it uses the Ghost type version of it, cuts its HP in half, and then because it's targeted itself, hits itself with the curse and then lowers its HP by another quarter that turn and then kills itself the turn after.
Unbelievable curse ball knowledge.
There's some Pokemon mechanic
Pokemon,
interaction.
yes. Makes sense. Alright, a few things to talk about in this fight. Set up on the Ariados. I did a bit of a different fight than you would normally do in PB attempts. I set up an extra X special. The reason for that is the Venomoth, his Venomoth would have been a range because I've got such bad special attack, and also because of this Crobat. Again, really bad range, even with perfect special. I missed this range twice in my PB. And if you miss the range on Crobat, because it's her highest level Pokemon, she will heal. A fun one as well is we got Protect on Forretress. That's 2% to happen, by the way. Pokemon that have Protect or Detect, we'll see another one potentially in a minute. There's quite a few of them that we see in the run, but it's very rare that you actually see Protect and Detect. People could speed run these games and get decent times and never see Protect or Detect. It's only 2%. So pretty fun. I have technically good HP here. Speaks potentially a bit too soon. This fight's pretty interesting. We've got Hitmontop here. Extremely likely to use Dig on turn 1, which is the move we want to see. Dig actually works in our favor. We need to set up an X attack. So while he's underground, we set up a second X attack, which is convenient because we need 2 X attacks to one-shot his ace, which is a Machamp. Why I mentioned Detect is Hitmontop also has Detect, 2% to use. I discovered in a practice run the other day that if you're at super low HP, it can actually use Pursuit as well, which I'd never seen before, and I was in disbelief. So the more you know. I assume that Pursuit is only if you're at 25% of max HP or less.
That is. Unless the AI has changed by generation.
AI is pretty weird in these games, but... Like, say, Machamp... If I was... in normal runs... I can't actually remember. I actually skipped the protein now. But Machamp is a range. Thank God it died. I should have actually healed before this fight, because I forgot that I skipped the protein.
Speaking of healing before this fight, can you explain that note on Bruno? Your healing note?
Oh, yeah. My note on Bruno says, heal if female. The reason for that is the gender of your Pokemon determines the attack value. So, for example, if a Pokemon has a 50% gender split, 50% male, 50% female, the female Pokemon, one sec, hold on, steal, will always have the bottom end of the attack stat, so it'll always be 0 to 7, and male will be 8 plus. Because Totodile is only 12.5% to be female, female Totodiles, or female starters, are guaranteed to have 0 or 1 attack only. So in PB attempts, for example, if you see a female Totodile when you're nicknaming it, it's just an instant reset. So my note says heal if female because you're not guaranteed to one-shot the Machamp.
Nice. Were we not saying earlier that our attack DV was somewhere between 1 and 4?
It's 2 to 4.
2 to 4, right. I was going to say it can't be 1 to 4.
The reason I know it's 2 to 4 is I knew it was 0...
Male.
I knew it was 0 to 5.
Yeah,
because of the attack at... Oops, that's the wrong move. Yeah, because it was 0 to 5 and it's male, so...
Yeah.
Fun little quirk here, Gen 1 and Gen 2. So, this is a good example. I've got Sand Attack after using an X accuracy there. In later generations, using an X accuracy only boosts your accuracy by a stage. But in Gen 1 and 2, X accuracies skip the accuracy check completely. It just doesn't check for accuracy anymore. So if it just used 6 stand attacks in a row, I'm still guaranteed to hit every move from this point. If you've ever watched a Gen 1 speedrun that used Nidoking, that's how they hit every horn drill and one-shot everything, is because they use 1x accuracy, maybe an X speed to outspeed, and then just OHKO everything. Set up a second X special, you would not normally do that. The reason for the second X special was because I've got really bad stats. I needed it to one-shot the Vileplume, and the Gengar is also a range. Gengar's pretty cringe. It's got Destiny Bond, Curse, Spite, which is bad because my PP is pretty tight at this point. I actually can't remember what Vileplume has, but I can't imagine it's anything good.
A bunch of status moves that, if this run is anything to go by, will miss.
So there's some fun AI interactions actually with the Umbreon, which I skipped over. I was actually at technically pretty good HP before the fight for some fight shenanigans where if we are at 50% or lower of our max HP, so it'd be about, what, 88 or something, she is favored to use damaging moves, so she would have used Feint Attack, favored. But if we're at higher HP, so I healed and went to max, she's more likely to use status moves. That's why we saw Confuse Ray, Sand Attack, spam like that. So ideally, you go into the fight at a HP where you can tank 2 Feint Attacks, but you get the Feint Attack. So you want to be like 40 to half, so like 40 to 85. So I actually technically had good HP, but I didn't want to risk the crits, so just had to tank that time loss.
Dance emotes in chat, guys. This is a banger.
This is a banger. The Lance theme, excuse me, I'm talking over it. Can't believe myself. It is a banger. Hyper Beam's good. You would not normally X special for this fight. However, Lance's ace, he uses Dragonites, of course, famously.
Cheated ones, famously.
He cheats. We'll get to that. They are ranges with bad special, even the first ones, the level 47 ones, and we can't afford to not one-shot them. Particularly the first one, it has Thunder and Thunder Wave, which is horrendous. So his first Dragonite. And we click the Ice Punch button and it dies.
No.
Oh yeah, oh that's right, it's Lozzie's favourite Pokemon, everybody. Yeah. So Lance is a cheater, and I'm sure everyone knows like the conspiracy theory where he worked with Team Rocket, because you know they were evolving the Gyarados early at Lake of Rage. Team Rocket were forcing the Gyarados to evolve early, or the Magikarp to evolve early into Gyarados. So that's the theory, is that Lance was working with Team Rocket to evolve his Dragonite early, because Dragonite doesn't technically evolve until level 55. But here he is with 2 that are level 47 and level 50. The cheating swine. Anyway, that's all 3 of them gone. You will notice he used Hyper Beam, and I set up an X speed. You would not normally X speed for this fight because you're faster than everything except Aerodactyl. However, the fun quirks of Hyper Beam is it has a recharge turn on the second turn, which basically gave me a free setup turn where the Gyarados couldn't do anything. So I had a free turn to set up the X speed, which makes me faster than Aerodactyl. Not really necessary, but it's, you know.
We'd rather...
Yeah, I would have...
Us take our turn pressing the X speed than him take his turn on the Aerodactyl. It's only 1 extra turn anyway.
Yeah, let me just check my pace.
Oh, sorry, like it's only 1 turn either way.
Yeah, so I would have lived the crit there. Aerodactyl has a pretty cringe moveset. It's got Hyper Beam as well. It's also got Ancient Power, which I saw recently, and Ancient Power is 10% to boost all of its stats. So it just like Aerodactyl's attack boosted, Aerodactyl's defense boosted. It's like, oh my god. So thankfully, none of that. All right, so we won, by the way. Yeah, game over. Yeah. Oh, we won.
We haven't done the intro yet.
I love Gen 2. It's brilliant. And you're like, oh, that was really fun. Yeah, actually. Yeah, I wish there was more game. You know what?
What you should do? You should visit Kanto.
Kanto. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, there's an entire other region. That's right. All right, fun bit here.
You can go and find the Slugma.
Oh, that's right. We'll catch Slugma. Fun bit here. There's some credits after Lance, but we can just soft reset the game there. I waited an extra second there just so I didn't. If I hadn't done that, we waited properly, we would have gone all the way back like an hour. So we can avoid the credits completely just by soft resetting there. Prof gives us another phone call, and he's going to give us the ticket so we can board the boat and head over to Kanto properly.
We've got a very important question in chat. 6 Bidoof run when?
Not in this game.
If we could catch Bidoof, I would have. Bidoof would be pretty OP actually. It learns like every HM basically. You know what? I'll learn Gen 4 just for you, person in chat whose name I don't know, and I'll do 6 Bidoof run. I had my toes crossed, just to be safe, when I said that. So we come here to the SS Aqua. There's a bit of a story here that we have to go through. This guy's lost his granddaughter. She's gone wandering off, so we have to go find her. This music's also a banger, by the way.
SS Aqua, the team of Home Aqua.
That's right. So, that guy tells us his co-worker is slacking off, so we have to go find the guy. Here he is. We have to fight him and get him back to work. He's just minding his business, you know, having a snack, and we've come and ruined his day. But has to be done.
Whilst we are sailing over to Kanto, familiar home to a lot of people who are thorough and massive joyers of the Pokemon anime and all of the above from Gen 1 onwards. I do just want to take a moment to remind you guys that we are raising money for Make-A-Wish Foundation. We have got a good couple of targets and polls that are currently up and running that you can pop into incentives. You can help make sure that Spyro is the one of the epic rap battles of victory winner. Between that and the Spike choice of Zelda's A Link to the Past, because he is still currently in the lead with $227. But if you've got anything that you are itching to tell us about Pokemon knowledge, even if it is just to tell us your silly stories about how you were told by your friends to push the truck that has obviously got the Mew underneath it, please do consider getting your donations in. It is going to an amazing cause because the money you donate goes directly to supporting the foundation and has a real impact on children's lives.
Absolutely. Lots of cool incentives, guys. Please feel free if you've...
We have a representative from Make-A-Wish on site, and like hearing some of the stories from her and speaking to her has just been heartwarming. It really means so much to these kids. There's people on site that I know that it's like their family. It's their family's wishes have been granted. It's directly affected them as well, and they speak so highly of it, and you can tell that it really cuts deep on them. It's really important, guys. It's really important.
Alright. I flew to Vermilion there. It's quicker than biking out of the port section there. So basically, Kanto is... We're going to make a beeline for the story plots. We'll bike through some important places. So we biked through Saffron there, didn't do anything, but it sets the fly point, so we'll be able to fly back there later. The main story plot of Kanto is that the power plant is not working. A member of Team Rocket has gone rogue He's the only member of Team Rocket in the entire region for some reason. But he decided to go into the power plant and steal a machine part. So basically the only plot of the region is, you know, go to the power plant, discover that it's missing, get it, take it back. Got a spinner coming up here. We've done 24 spinner passes. So again, spinners are the randomly spinning trainers that I have no control over. We've got 8 passes to go. The next one coming up is Joyce, who I have to pass twice, but we pass her 2 times, or 4 total. Good passes. Alright, cool. So again, I have to open the bag just to give myself a bit of a reaction time buffer. A lot of people watch these games and they're like, why are you pausing? Why don't you just go when she spins to a good direction? But they can spin every 2 frames, like I was saying, so by the time your brain has said go, they've already spun and hit you, so good job. But when you play these games enough, you learn the benefit of actually pausing the menu. And we're able to combine pausing the menu for the spinner with setting up the rappel for the water and grass. I toss the full heals because we don't actually need them, and just saves me scrolling past it in the bag over and over again. Inventory management is like not super high tech in Gen 2. If you've ever watched a Gen 1 speedrun, the bag management is like insane, and it saves several minutes across the whole run. Bag management in this game, I've made quite a few optimizations to the swaps that I do, moving items around, tossing things at opportune moments, but it saves like, 20 seconds maybe. Not quite as impactful as Gen 1. So I went into the gym just to get the rocket guy in there. Potential spoilers for where the part might be hidden. So we go in the gym there just to get him out. Kanto is a lot of we have to just fight these trainers. So we come here. This is like the new Nugget Bridge, but they're not stood on Nugget Bridge.
Are we gonna push through this youngster's level 35 Oddish after we defeated Drake's 3 Dragonites? Yeah.
Dudley here, the schoolboy. He just learned that Oddish is super effective against Feraligatr. Unfortunately, I just killed it. It's kind of a theme for Kanto. We do actually see a really cool Pokemon on this trainer. One of my Gen 2 favorites. Not Wigglytuff. Nobody cares about Wigglytuff.
I was about to say...
Unless Wigglytuff is your favorite Pokemon, in which case I apologize. Please donate money and tell us how great Wigglytuff is. I'd really appreciate it. I, of course, was talking about this Pokemon, Granbull. I love Granbull because it's got a really cool cry when it comes in. It's like kind of an aggressive Pokemon cry. And it looks like he means business. I should say she, actually. It's actually a female Granbull. Didn't notice it. My apologies, Granbull.
Granbull is time lost in every generation after this, though, because of Intimidate.
That's right, yeah. Kind of glossed over that, because it's, like, not a thing in these games, but no abilities in Gen 2. Abilities are pretty crucial for speedruns as you go along. Like, the starter Pokemon typically have, like, Torrent, Overgrow, Blaze, which boosts the...
boosts the power of their specific type's moves by 1.5 times when they're below 1/3 HP. Water, fire, grass.
And considering most Pokemon speedruns use the water type, you'll hear about Torrent a lot, but no Torrent in these games. No quick attack, pretty clutch. I almost forgot about that.
Is that true?
This
you pick Chimchar and Diamond Pearl, Cyndaquil and Heart Gold Soul Silver, Tepig and 5.
Actually,
Isn't
Empoleon? Empoleon's currently the GOAT in Gen 4, I think.
No, because they main swap right after.
I think Empoleon's the current world record holder.
What category, I guess, is the Empoleon, but
I don't know.
And
whatever
any
worse goes
percent, they're definitely using Chimchar.
But in the early games, it's you pick Squirtle in red, and then Gen 2, it's Totodile,
The Cyndaquil
Golden
remix.
Crystal, Cyndaquil in the remix. Gen 3, it's Squirtle in Fire Red Leaf Green,
Mudkip.
Mudkip in Hoenn in both
Yeah.
games.
But then it seems to switch to fire because
You're assuming I care about Gen 4 Plus.
millennials, man.
Also, something really hype just happened and nobody cheered, which was we didn't get Quick Attack on this route. Oh my god! Really, really rare. So the Vaporeon and Pidgeotto are both 50-50 to Quick Attack. I point that out because it's genuinely the most interesting thing that can happen on this particular route, whether you get Quick Attacked or not. And we didn't, so yes! Anyways, Nidoking, the Gen 1 Goat, used in as the main in red and yellow. Unfortunately, we just stomp him. At this point... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Loz.
Sorry. Cholia just wanted to point out that Empoleon's not a goat, it's a penguin.
I don't have a good response for that, Cholia. You are absolutely correct. I apologise profusely. I can't believe I got a penguin and a goat mixed up.
Real, that's real.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Return, at this point in the game, like I said, Return's base power is based on our happiness. Our happiness maxed out somewhere in the Elite Four, can't remember, like right before Lance, I think. So it's currently maxed out 102 base power, which is pretty clutch for some of the later fights. So, some of the fights are hard in this gen, in Kanto, I promise. We also have Pink Bow equipped, so it's 102 base power, but we have 12.5% boost for the badge boost from Faulkner, 12.5% boost because it's a normal type, because we beat Whitney, which gave us the 12.5% boost to normal type moves, and we get the 10% boost for wearing the Pink Bow, and all of that stacks.
That does stack multiplicatively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiplicatively, although like when the calculations are done, they round down.
Yeah, there's some weird rounding down in Pokemon
Yeah.
Galaxy.
In Pokemon, everything always rounds down.
Alright. So the reason we had to come up here, they had to give us a reason to come up here and fight these trainers, is Misty was not in the gym. She's on a date. Oh no, you ran away! Oh, we ruined a date, no. Our homeboy putting in work there with Misty, but we scared him off. Hopefully he plucks up the courage to come and talk to her again. So we do Nugget Bridge early there, just XP farming basically. We have to do it at some point, so makes sense to get it out of the way early in the region. Now we're gonna again make a beeline for a part of the region with low level Pokemon, which is Erica's gym. Might sound counterintuitive that the first gym that we go to in the new region is the grass type gym when we have a water Pokemon, but haha. Doesn't make a difference. Some of the routing is surprisingly interesting for if you care about it for Kanto. Obviously, we have limited PP for our moves, so it's a lot of optimizing to minimize the amount of inputs that we do, switching between moves, and minimizing the amount of text boxes that we see. So we're fighting a lot of grass types. We don't want to use Ice Punch, for example. Excuse me. So that's kind of like the whole point of Kanto. Minimize inputs, don't make mistakes, you don't want extra text boxes, don't get quick attacked. Sounds boring, but it all adds up. This is a Guitar. Speaking of text boxes, if you've got good attack, so like 13 to 15 in typical runs, my attack is 2 to 4, so I won't be doing it. You would return this to save the super effective text box. I can't do that, so we have to Ice Punch. I know Dylan J. Fox in particular loves the sprite for Exeggutor, so shout out Dylan. He particularly likes the head on the right-hand side that just looks completely zooted out of his mind. Bless him.
I feel like Dylan J. Fox is the kind of guy to have a favourite egg on the Execute.
Yeah, he has a favourite head on Exeggutor, of course he does. But only on that particular sprite, I think.
Okay, we now need to find out what Dylan J. Fox's favourite egg is in Execute.
Actually, this is really good timing, because the only Execute in the entire run that we see is about to come on screen. So now we can see and decide for him.
Oh, we're going to make his decision.
We're going left to right.
Everyone, please tell me what your favourite egg is of Execute.
Locking in.
Oh, I'm back.
Middle right.
I'm back left.
I like the front right. Yeah, he's kind of angry. He's like looking at the front egg and he's like judging him. There's some beef there. There's some beef between
this guy
those eggs,
taking
yeah.
the limelight.
Right. So there is a $5 donation from Cholia, donating on behalf of Raging Puss, whose favourite Pokemon is Wigglytuff. And apologies for calling you out like that.
Like I said, I always love Wigglytuff. I also love donations to charity, so thank you, Cholia, for the $5 donation.
Cholia, do you have any decent jokes that you could also share with us?
Shout out Cholia, actually. I've seen them donating, like, a person possessed during this marathon. Like, every run I've watched, I think they've donated something. It's kind of crazy, so respect. Tangela's surprisingly bulky, so gotta ice punch that. Jumpluff. I actually used Jumpluff casually as a kid in one playthrough. I don't know what possessed me to do that, but you know. It's objectively not good. Alright, so
Jumpluff got tech.
we set up an X attack here. We specifically set it up on Victory Bell here, because it's guaranteed to use Sunny Day every time. And we get a free setup turn. You'd think it'd use like Razor Leaf or something. No. Speaking of Gen 2 Pokemon, one of my favourite Gen 2 Pokemon, actually, Blossom. We see a couple of them in Kanto.
And ironically,
Not
none
the
of
best
them
one
in
for it.
Johto.
Sorry?
And ironically, none of them in Johto.
Yeah. Another one that we just don't see.
I swear there's more Johto Pokemon in Kanto than there are in Johto.
I don't actually know how you get a Sunstone in... Oh, wait, you have to do the bug catching contest.
Yeah.
You have to win the bug catching contest to get a Sunstone. I think that's the only way you can get it.
It's also the only Sunstone one?
I believe it might be the only Sunstone, yeah. You can get evolutionary stones from Bill's grandfather up on Nugget Bridge if you show him Pokemon of a specific type, or maybe like specific Pokemon. Can't remember how it works. I think if you show him a specific Pokemon, he'll give you an evolutionary stone. I don't know if he gives out Sunstones though. Alright, so we're going to go back into Missy's gym. The trainers have reappeared. Oh, we found the machine part that was so well hidden in this patch of water. Low-key actually hard to find if you're a kid and you don't know where it is. It might look slow for me. I got on the water, picked it up, got off again. But that's the fastest way to do it. The alternative is you go all the way around the edge of the gym and like surf down to Misty from the top. So you'll never believe what we do on this fight. We set up an X attack. Yep. Golduck's a ranged dime one hit, but we will not be going for it with horrendous attack. Very favoured to use Psychic on turn 1. I've seen Disable a couple of times. I don't know why it uses Disable on turn 1, but there we go. Quagsire. Quagsire on screen. Block Clausy. Oh, I killed it.
Hell yeah.
Gone.
Did you let me commentate you just because you knew that you were going to be killing my favourite Pokemon?
Yes.
Did I
Lapras.
Quagsire.
Lapras is a ranged bit of a menace. It's got Blizzard and Destiny Bond.
anybody who's worked in customer services will understand that being Quagsire being your spirit animal is when the customer's shouting at you and you just blink.
Dude, I
No faults, yes.
hate
Please go away.
Quagsire. I hate Clodsire.
You hate clods?
I
Dude,
like Clodsire.
You ever meet a competitive player that's like, yeah, dude, I really like running big 6-stall Clodsire? I'm like, bro, get a job. Like you log into some Pokemon Showdown game and you see a guy with Clodsire or Blissey Corviknight and you open game chat and you type www.indeed.com to them.
I just heavily relate to just the look of just the no thought, head empty, just smile and wave of the Quagsire face.
If you like Quagsire for the vibes, I'm with you. Okay? If you like Quagsire for the vibes, you're a good person.
And
If you like Quagsire because you put him on your team to battle, to win, bro, we gotta have a sit-down conversation with you, man. We gotta get you hobbies. We gotta get you talking to people. We need to find you a nearby patch of grass.
Honestly, I wish we could have caught a Wooper. I think we did see a Wooper, but I'd already caught Poliwag. So
We just got a super
if we'd been on like insane pace, I would have considered just catching it just for the bit, but we were not. And I'm glad that I didn't, because things have gone wrong since then. But we bring the machine part back here. And
as we are returning the machine parts to continue on with our journey in Kanto. I was about to call it Johto.
Yep. We'll get it right eventually. Go ahead.
This one's is a $5.01 donation from the real Pokemon fan. And this one's going to be a very spicy one from the complete opposite to what was sent in by Cholia. I hate Wigglytuff. All my homies hate Wigglytuff. Everyone I've met has said the same thing to me. Wigglytuff. You mean that garbage Pokemon who is bad. They have contributed that target to the Ultras fight the final boss. Thank you so much.
I also hate Wigglytuff. I will agree with whatever you say if you give money. So, I changed my mind. I hate Wigglytuff.
My models are purchasable.
I can be bought for very little money, guys.
But not if you pay me.
And
you need to pay charity.
$1 at a time really helps charity.
Wigglytuff gets like an insane baller moveset, by the way.
I don't care.
I agree.
Look, guys, you've just heard it here. Opinions can be bought when it goes to charity, so please make sure that you get your donations in to make Sarata admit he actually really loves Clodsire.
Bro.
Alright, so on this fight, Espeon is a range to die. Not a very good one, by the way. That was like 50%, I think, to die with this attack. If you miss the range, it's very likely to use Sand Attack, but it can also use Psychic. Alakazam is a speed tie with 2 DV speed. It's only if you've got really bad speed. Can be quite troll, actually, because it can use Reflect, which doubles its defense. So it can be a bit of a troll fight, but we get through very smoothly. Alright, coming up to the final spinner of the run. We have done 29 spinner passes. I fought Benny on purpose. Other than that, I have successfully dodged every spinner, I think, because I'm good at that. This is the last one. He's called Tom. He has 3 Pokemon. Can you believe it's a Magnemite? And
wait, it's Magnemite?
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Oh my god. It's not like we've seen that several
we haven't seen it.
Is it possible that, depending on the spinners that you hit, to some extent not within your own control, that you fight more Magnemites than...
Ooh, use a fast spinner.
Pause.
Yeah, every 2 frames they can spin. We have to pass this guy 3 times.
Ooh.
So you can see how twitchy they are. Like, he looked down and then left immediately. Anyway, that's all the spinners done, so that's a breath of fresh air. I'm really sorry, mate. What
we still need to do him again, though, right?
No, that's it.
Oh, right, you had to pass him 3 times.
Yeah.
No,
so
I wasn't going to
individual time there.
Yeah.
On the bike, you have slightly better odds of getting past. It's like, if you have good reaction time and take a safe pass, he's only about 5% forgot where my cursor was there. Where am I going? He's only about 5% to hit you.
I was saying, is it possible that the most common Pokemon that you fight is Magnemite if you get unlucky on spinners?
Let's see.
Six
Not
different-
quite.
Well-
So we fight 19 Coughings and 13 Magnemites. So if we fought him, it would have been 16 Magnemites.
But there's no other Magnemite spinners?
No,
Ah.
unfortunate. And I don't feel like fighting 3 wild ones just to make the difference. Alright, so we come to Surge's gym. Nothing particularly interesting going on here. You do have to delay him most of the time. If you've got really good attack and speed, I like the strat of potentially doing Surge first out of all the gym leaders. You would bike straight here when you get to Kanto. However, his 2 electrodes are pretty fast, obviously, and his ace is an Electabuzz that is surprisingly bulky. So you need 8+ attack, I think, and 6+ speed to do Surge first. Our stats do not meet that stat requirement, so we do Surge in the normal order here. Most of Kanto is just optimized to be like, you complete the story plot and just, you know, minimal amount of flies, minimal amount of biking. We have to come back to this area anyway for the next part of the route, so it makes sense to do Surge while we come back to Vermilion. Wow, a Magneton.
That's kind of 3 Magnemites.
Actually, do you know what? If I'd counted Magnetons along with Magnemites, I think it might be the most common. The Magnemite evolutionary line, I think, is probably the most common.
There was at least one Weezing previously, so...
We did fight
I think
two Weezings.
yeah.
How many Magnetons are there? At least 3? It would be close. Alright, so another thrilling battle here. The best Kanto has to offer, by the way. This next section's like one of my favourite parts of Kanto. So the way they try and force you to do the story plot is they block you off from accessing the southern and like eastern parts of Kanto. So you can't get to, for example, from Cerulean, you can't go west through Mount Moon to get to the western part of the region. And you also can't go to Fuchsia and try going south. If you try surfing south of Fuchsia, there's actually like some workmen there blocking off the road. So and the reason they do that is to force you to have to come through Diglett's Cave. Oh, that's right. I used the extra repel by accident. I will have to do an extra mark to buy repels because I went to default and used a repel on the Tom buffer, but I wasn't supposed to. But not a big deal.
For a split second, my brain went, why are we at the ruins of Alf? Because you opened up the radio and I was expecting to hear the unknown
right,
noises.
Yeah. So we get the radio card and then get the EXPN card to put into it just for the radio, just to wake up that Snorlax. I have forgotten to get the radio card on a run before. I'm just going to YOLO this. Actually, I shouldn't have YOLO'd it because I have to go through this grass. I'll just play this safe then. That guy's a rotator on a fixed pattern. I'm going to just buy repels whilst I remember.
We do have a posing question for everyone in this donation message. It is a $5 donation from Potential Mon. And it's always Magnetite and Magnecan, but never Magners.
Magna can. He certainly can.
And that is going to contributing to the target of Ultras at the final fight, the boss. And I said that completely the wrong way around.
Final boss fight.
Thank you.
We are working on less sleep than we should be in the room right now. I don't know about you, Lionheart. Do you have a good night's sleep?
No.
Okay, collectively, I've had about...
Between me and Lozzie, I think we've probably had 2.5. That's
I think I
additive. If you add them together.
Between the three of us, we've had less than 10 hours sleep for sure.
I feel like this equation got weighted somewhere. When I go 2.5, maybe less than 10.
Hey, I'm playing the game. I need my beauty sleep, man.
And I didn't.
I've still made about 1,000 mistakes, but there we go. No.
And you didn't hit a spinner.
Sorry?
Didn't hit a spinner.
Didn't hit a spinner, that's right. Which is definitely not RNG and all skill.
It's a lot of skill. Can't knock it.
They are quite hard to pass actually optimally, but obviously it's still some RNG involved. Fun fact, Omastar here can use Protect. Don't do it.
Let's not talk about suboptimally passing spinners, but always seeming to get by.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to go back to an old conversation.
I was about to say, at this point, I think we need to just stop you from speaking.
Many people have said, both here and outside of the event.
If only we could find a way to get him to shut up. Ugh.
Money.
Hey, guys, again, donate to make him say something that he doesn't agree with.
Even when you tell him he's got to wake up at 6:30 in the morning for a commentary run, he still like shows up. He can't be stopped.
I mean, to be fair, like, everything going on right now is exclusively the consequences of my own actions, right? I'm tired because I didn't sleep. I'm commentating because I offered to do it. I'm doing it at this time because I set the run at this time.
Yeah,
who can I blame here?
That is true.
John's scheduling, everybody.
He randomly offered to do it, and then he put himself on the schedule to do it at this time. You have no one to blame.
This is... I accept the consequences of my own actions, man. I made them. Who else is gonna do it?
I just want to point out that when I did the outreach, Lionheart was like, well, Star did offer, but I don't know whether he was being serious or not. Spoke to Star 3 days later, and he goes, oh, yeah, I'm down for it. Added him to the group chat.
Yo!
Instant frame one.
Do I get to talk about Mons?
Yeah, it was
friends?
like we'd never spoken before, and then we were watching in VC Dylan's GDQ Spyro run. Shout out Dylan. And then everybody left the VC except me and Star, and then he goes, oh, like, I'll do commentary for your run. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. And then we never spoke again.
And then
so obviously I thought, I was like, he was offhandedly offered. He probably didn't mean it. He's probably just trying to be nice. But here we are. What an idiot, volunteering to sit next to me for 3.5 hours. But he survived.
You got the worst end of that stick.
Yeah, I was about to say, but thank you for setting yourself up for that one yourself there, Star.
If you had ball knowledge, you'd have been in that voice channel. You'd have heard, hey, I'll do commentary for your run, and you'd have went,
I'd have
no.
just hung up.
Oh, sorry, I think I left my toaster on.
No, he's asleep right now.
Alright, so Blue here, of course, was our rival in Gen 1. He's actually a gym leader in Gen 2. He's just chilling on Cinnabar Island here. Cinnabar Island was destroyed. The volcano blew up. And now it's just a rock with a Pokemon Center on it. Picked up... Sorry, go.
Got it. No, please go.
Picked up a Maxi there just to... Maxi has fully replenished the PP of the move that we use it on. There actually is one more spinner here. Fun facts. Alright. We sort of do like a funny movement there. It's called a Kiza charge, named after the runner Kiza on, where you sort of blitz up to him, surf just out of his range, and if he gets stuck in a favourable direction, you like surf around him and it saves 3 seconds. Didn't get stuck. Yeah, like I say, use the Maxi for on return. It's our strongest move, so we'll need it for the last few fights here. Sorry,
is this just going to be press surf?
No, actually.
Oh, Macargo spotted.
Macargo, yeah. It's actually not just press surf, but interesting that you say that. Do you have to serve Macargo? It's got crazy physical defense.
120.
You guys aren't ready for this. Well, Really exciting stuff here.
Oh, Teddy's just gonna press surf and I'm gonna.
Where's my... Oh my gosh, I actually used it on surf. That's hilarious. I'm making some interesting marathon decisions here. Sunny day, yeah. This actually happened in practice 2 runs ago. I blame us for talking whilst I should have been thinking on the menu, but that's entirely my bad. But we can fix it. I think this isn't actually going to kill.
Not in sun.
No two-shot though, but he can heal. I think he's going to heal this, but it's fine. So I'm going to have to use the Pokemon Center in Fuchsia, which is really cringe. So if I use the Maxi on the correct move, Return, I was going to use Return on Magmar.
The correct play here, I think, was actually Punch into.
Yeah, I should have Strengthed beforehand, but not a big deal because I'm going to use a Pokemon Center now. Ideally, you do not use a Pokemon Center in Kanto. So I've made 2 interesting mistakes in Kanto. The first one was the Repel mistake, which I've never made, and then the Maxi filler. Not the end of the world.
So the point I was going to make is, interestingly, the construction zone that's at the south of Route 19,
which is here.
Here, if you somehow illegitimately get there first before you progress any other part of the story, if you like just get into Kanto via like the gate east of Tojo Falls illegitimately, out of sequence, and then go south through Pallet Town and surf along, go north, the construction isn't there.
Interesting.
The construction clears.
So it must be like after you beat E4 or something, it like loads in the construction workers. It's interesting.
I was in a no, I'd beaten E4 at this point. I was in a, we'll call it a randomizer race. There was some more context. And we had no squirt bottle available to us.
Right, so you couldn't get past Sudowoodo, yeah.
And no fly. And so, but like after Goldenrod, we had to go straight to E4, beat E4, and then go into Kanto. And then I went south and went along and cleared the construction. But my opponent went north, through Brocksham, through Mount Moon, but then they got to it and got soft locked. And I was like, how can you be soft locked? Because I didn't know the construction existed naturally. Yep. And we were just like screen sharing each other's screens, and it's completely different. Yeah. They had the construction idea. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, I wonder what the trigger is for that then.
Might have been randomizer doing it, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. But... Right, Janine took over the gym from Koga. Koga got promoted to the Elite Four, so Janine took over the gym. Unfortunately, she has the weakest team in all of human history. Lost a coin flip there. She's 50-50 to use a dire hit on her last Pokemon. I don't know why she's the only trainer to do that, where she's like, there's RNG whether she uses an item or not. You would probably do Janine first, honestly, if she was at like any other part of the map, but because she's like locked into the southern part of the map, got to do at the end here. All right, 2 gyms to go. Of course, we spoke to Blue on Cinnabar Island, or what was left of it anyway. So he has now gone back to his gym in Viridian City. We biked through Viridian City, which set the warp point, so we're able to fly there. Blue is the first gym leader in the entire region that is able to pose any sort of real threat. He's considerably stronger than any of the others, but realistically he's still not that good. As you can imagine, shocker, we set up some X items and win. In PB/World Records attempts with really good stats, 13 plus, you can consider only going to +2 with 2x attacks. However, because my attack is 2 to 4, we're going to go to +3 here. Pidgeot is 50-50 to use Mirror Move or Wing Attack. Mirror Move is obviously preferable because we don't take damage, but it's also faster than watching us take the damage from Wing Attack. Got to set up an X speed for his Alakazam. Spoilers. On this route, 11 plus speed can skip the X speed for Alakazam. Oh my goodness.
Hello.
I'll just explain a couple of things and then Lozzie can take it away with that.
Let's get the fight out of the way.
Exeggutor here, because I'm at +3, is guaranteed. +2, it's a range with perfect attack. I think it's like 60%. It can use Sunny Day or Solar Beam. Obviously, Solar Beam is really bad because if you don't one-shot it, he heals and then he'll kill you. So you have to ideally one-shot the Exeggutor here. Alakazam, if you did not set up the X speed, is really likely to use Reflect, so it's a really bad YOLO, like if you're a Speed Tide, for example, to go for that. Also, if you went to +2, the Gyarados and Arcanine are both also ranges. And if you've got bad defense, the Arcanine can use Extreme Speed. I have bad defense, we might see it. That's about as interesting as it gets. Lozzie, do you want to take it away with anything you need? I will need to concentrate in about 3 minutes until the end of the run. So for the next few minutes, please yap as much as you need to.
Excellent, excellent. That's what I like to hear. We've got a $100 donation from Happy Camper. That is got the lovely message saying, Goosebert, use Hypnotize. Starter goes to sleep. Goosebert takes
Did I
over.
wish?
Goosebert takes over commentary. It was very effective. That has gone to Zelda, A Link to the Past, sprite choice of Surprise, Surprise Goose, and fight the final boss in Ultros.
Fantastic.
You said if you press Solar Beam, it's bad because then he heals and then he kills you. If you press his Solar Beam, like if you go +2 and you miss the range and he presses Solar Beam,
he heals and it locks him out from using the move, so then you get like a second chance at the range, essentially.
Can he use Solar Beam, charge it turn 1, and then second turn heal?
He'll always heal before using the move.
It should lock you in. That's a weird AI only glitch.
Alright, come and speak to Oak here. For those of you who were here at the start of the run, 3.5 hours ago, Oak gave us the Pokedex in Mr. Pokemon's house, and he wants to check how we've got on. We have caught nothing, except what we absolutely had to. Alright, one fight to go, one of the most notorious fights in all of Pokemon speedrunning, I believe. To get there, we have to go through Mount Silver. I will need to concentrate through Mount Silver. You will see why when we get there. I will draw your attention to the fact that we did not get the HM for Flash, because it's slow.
Star, do you ever feel like you're being watched?
I'm good with it.
What, with Goosebug watching your every move?
He's a friend.
Is he though?
Me and Goosebert go way back. Me and Goosebert go back as hard as any ESA attendee can. I was there when Goosebert first became a man, first became a real boy.
I do need to lock in for a second, sorry.
Okay.
Alright, cool. So, pitch black there.
Apologies.
No, it's alright. Use the rare candy, that's optional, but with bad stats, kind of needed.
Save.
We'll be saving for this fight. I'll explain how we beat a level 81 Pikachu with a Feraligatr. So, on turn 1, his AI is 75% to use the move Charm, even though he has Thunderbolt and Thunder. The only other move he can use is Thunder. That's the remaining 25% because it's his most damaging move. Thunder is also 30% to miss. I should have gone up there. So he's 17.5% to use Thunder. Didn't see it. However, we can trick his AI because in this game, the AI, if you keep using X items, it keeps thinking it is still turn 1. So every turn here, he still thinks it's turn 1 and he'll keep using Charm, which tries to lower our attack. Did get a Thunder. So it's 17.5% every turn for us to get Thundered. Once he's used the Thunder, like this, and we're at low HP, he's kind of locked into using Thunder now. And because he sees the kill, he will always go for Thunder from this point. So the win con from here is we need the 30% for Thunder to miss. Nice. Beautiful timing. And now we can go back to using Charm again. And that's how you beat a level 81 Pikachu, because his AI is ridiculously stupid. So, got very lucky there, only one Thunder. As you can imagine, you can just be sat there while he just spams Thunder over and over and over again. And Thunder only has 10 power points in this game. If he runs out of Thunders, he will switch to Thunderbolt, and you cannot win. Because you don't have enough heals to continually keep healing through the Thunderbolts. Espeon can be a range here. Because I've got bad attack, needed an extra X attack setup. Traditional setup with good stats in like world record attempts, you would just go to, you'd do guard spec. I should have explained, sorry, we used the guard spec on turn 1, which stopped Charm from lowering our attack. That's the gimmick of guard spec. And thankfully for us, it doesn't last for like 5 turns like it does in later generations. It lasts for the whole battle. So pretty clutch for us. Snorlax here is very favoured to use Amnesia. I believe it's 5% to use Body Slam. Body Slam's bad because it's 30% to Paralyze and can lock us into like a bit of a heal cycle. Right, 2 pokes to go. I only die here to getting crit twice, basically. All of his Pokemon will only go for the most damaging move that they have. So Blastoise, it'll be Surf. And his final poke will be Charizard. His most damaging move is Flamethrower, so he's always going to use Flamethrower here. I tank a crit, so we actually are guaranteed to win from here. I actually did a race with someone once, and they were winning the race, and then they got crit on the final turn on Charizard, and they came last. Good crit there at the end of the run to save a bit of time. So it'll be time for the end of the run coming up just after this.
What an estimate.
When the screen goes to white. Time. There we go.
What an estimate.
GG. Look at that. You were pretty much bang on the mark.
Yeah. Not bad. I made over 40 seconds of mistakes in Kanto, so we would have been under. But not bad otherwise.
It's like less than 0.5% off estimate.
Yeah.
You can't complain about that, right?
People who actually speedrun this game were probably like, what is he doing for a couple of bits there? But, you know, that happens. Yeah, pretty good run overall, I have to say.
0 spinners is really
Yeah, no spinners. Very, very happy with that. I thought I played pretty well with the spinners.
Yeah.
2 deaths, I think. We died to Whitney twice when we got Metronome Petal Dance turn 1. And then, what happened the second time? I can't remember. Oh, we got Stomp Flinch by Miltank. Yeah, no. We saw both sides of it.
Yeah. A close one on Dancers. On the Jolteon.
Yeah.
Close one.
Jolteon crit me, lived on 2 HP.
Got paralyzed. The only reason we had the paralysis berry was because Whitney killed us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some content throughout.
Some content there, yeah. Pretty funny being within 40 seconds of estimate there.
Yeah.
Obviously, pure RNG for Pokemon.
I blame Egg.
And Egg, yeah, that's right.
It's the name time loss. Genuine.
That's it.
It is actually name time.
Unironically, nicknaming everything lost us several minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, shout out Taco, by the way, for he gave $100, $50 to nickname our character Taco, and $50 to name our Pokemon Brinigami. Normally you would just nickname it A, because Brinigami lost us several minutes just from the nickname being really long, and it printed several hundred times. But yeah, I should probably just say thanks. Thanks for watching the run. Shout out everyone who's been in chat. I know it was bright and breezy very early, especially for friends in North America. Thanks to ESA for agreeing to have me here for whatever reason.
Thank you to Lionheart for this last minute chase submission that.
Yeah,
really for this event.
They put in some requests for some last minute runs.
Yeah.
I put it in, and they were like, "Oh, you're on stream 1." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Welcome to ESA. That's how we do it here.
I mean, clearly no bias at all as to me putting this in the schedule,
Yeah.
right? And then.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I'll slip you that $5 later.
Is that on top of the one that you sent?
Yeah. Thanks for watching the run. If you're interested in running Gen 2 or any Pokemon games really, easiest way to get involved is go to the speedrun.com profile for the relevant game. There'll be links to some resources, some guides, but also the Discords. The Discords are split up into what platform they're on, so all the Game Boys are together, Game Boy games are together, DS games, etc. Feel free to join the Discord, introduce yourself, ask a question in the relevant channel. I'm also in that Discord, so if you've got any specific Gen 2 questions or you're interested in learning Crystal, feel free to shoot me a DM, as long as it's a normal, adult, well-adjusted message, obviously. And that's about it, yeah. Thanks to Staratar for waking up and being here beside me.
I barely went to bed, bro.
Yeah. At the start of before the run, I was like facing this way, and I turned around and he was in the chair and he was just like, I just rolled out of bed to come here. Appreciate that.
I got breakfast. I set my alarm to happen after Sonic Unleashed. Came down here, walked in, and went, "Where's the runner?" And Idano went, "I'm setting up my own World of Illusions." And I was like, "Yo, I get breakfast?" And then I went downstairs.
You still looked fast asleep, which is remarkable.
I'm chilling, man.
I appreciate you being here. Appreciate Lozzie behind the mic, obviously. And yeah, please keep supporting the amazing event. Spyro 2 up next, mainly maybe. It's going to be a banger. I will be here watching it. Please keep supporting the event. It's for a wonderful cause. And hopefully I'll be back in summer. See you there.
Yeah, there's no much more for me to say. You've taken all my hosting lines, so I now am just going to go straight over to intermission. Please do not go anywhere. It is 14 Tally coming up next.
Before, I will say one more word. There will be a video played this intermission, because I promised people it. Stick around. It's a fan favorite. You'll see it in a moment.